This is Hnos Sport, bringing you that heat and that fire. We keeping the foot on the what? On the next. We keeping the foot on the what? On the next. We got Richy Rich in the building. We got Jalik the leader in the building. Let's start off with Jalik the leader. What's up, man? How you doing today, bro?
I'm doing amazing, man. It's raining today. I'm just had to readjust my schedule, like I was just telling you. I missed yesterday. I got a new dog, so I want to make sure I started training her already. So creating boundaries, because you don't want no dog just think they the alpha of the house, bro. It don't work like that. They have all types of problems, so you got to start them as soon as you pick them up in the car. So doing that, she wake me up in the morning time. But it is what it is. She picking up real fast though. So yeah, and Jimmy Butler is making me proud, bro. I'm like happy for him, bro. So yeah, it's some interesting stuff going on, bro.
All right. Richy Rich, man. What's up, man? Talk to us.
Yeah, man, just chilling, man. I'm feeling good. Today wasn't that long of a day at work, so that's a good thing. Just getting ready to talk about these topics that we have, lined up, man. Because them boys, the Heat, man, they did their thing last night, man. Tyler Hero, 37 points. That young buck, man, he doing his thing, man. The Heat, hey, they look like they look like they serious, man. They want to really have a chance of going at this thing. So, I want to see, where they how this thing ends up after all this. So
okay, that's what's up, man. That's what's up. So let's get right into it, man. The Miami Heat and the Boston Celtics. As you guys know, last night that was a interesting game. Tyler Hero dropped 37 points, did his thing. Now, you got Stephen A. Snake and all of these people all of a sudden knowing who the Miami Heat was. But the Miami Heat is a dark horse team that, if you guys been following this platform, we've been talking about them from the jump, man. We've been talking about the Miami Heat before this season started, that they were going to be a dark horse. They were going to be that team to be reckoned with in the Eastern Conference. They were going to be that team that everyone would have to pay attention to, you know what I'm saying, because they would be that team to make the noise along with the Indiana Pacers. But obviously the Indiana Pacers, you know what I'm saying, they basically felt some type of way with Victor Oladipo going down. What's up, Tom Ross? Salute to you, man. They basically felt some type of way. So bottom line is this, man. We have to look at the Miami Heat and we have to build the assessment of what they are as a basketball team. And we have to ask ourselves this underlying truth. Is the Miami Heat legit? Is this a team that's going to contend? Is this a team that's going to make the NBA Finals? Is this a team that could potentially upset the Los Angeles Lakers? So, Jalik, the leader, I'm going to start off with you, man. What's your assessment on the Miami Heat? Jimmy Butler, I feel like we got to put respect on his name, because people are saying that Jimmy Butler was a player that could not deal with different teams. He couldn't deal with different personalities, but yet he found a home with the Miami Heat. He's leading the ship. He's steering the ship in the right way. And the same guy, Tyler Hero, who dropped 37 points last night, said anyone that says that Jimmy Butler cannot gel well on a team don't know shit about basketball. Let me say it again. Anyone that says that Jimmy Butler cannot gel well on a team and is not a great team player don't know shit about basketball. So what's your take on Jimmy Butler, the Miami Heat, and your assessment of them all in all?
My hat's gone off to Jimmy. So I don't want to throw no shots at you. He knows his sports, but your boy Kevin Durant, that chip chasing he was doing, that's a Fugazi chip. Those two chips. So for him to even basically, Jimmy Butler getting to the finals is worth more than your two chips that your boy Kevin Durant got with that fake Fugazi shot, because it shows a lot of self-reflection that one of my favorite players don't have is Russell Westbrook. So for you to change your personality and adapt shows a lot. That's real, like you always say, alpha male character, because it's easy to get attached to who you are and say, I'm not going to change. Everybody has to change for me. And when he made that, when I thought it was a mistake, I'm like, he want to be the only star. Why is he going to Miami? So for him to even get this far, bro, it make Russell Westbrook look like, hopefully it sends a subconscious message to these chip chasers like Kevin Durant and these people that don't know how to develop their leadership qualities, that you can actually adjust small things and make a big difference, because the way their team is playing is just amazing. And you can't just give all the credit to Jimmy, but he's the nucleus of the team. You got to give credit from the top down. You know, Pat Riley, Spoelstra, and all the players look like they cool with each other. So if they was to hang out with each other, they will be cool. A lot of teams, they act like one dude smashed one of the groupie broads, because you know they all mess with the same girl, right? Miami, like, you know what, they keep things separate. I don't know if they got a contract like, bro, I ain't gonna smash your Instagram thought. So that makes a difference, because dudes be getting in their feelings. So low key, I kind of want the GOAT to get his chip, but at the same time, Kevin Durant, I want Jimmy Butler to devalue Kevin Durant's chip chasing so much that no chip chasing should be allowed in this league again. So I'm happy for Miami. They wasn't one of my favorites, but I'm just happy for them, because at the bottom line, no matter who you are, you could grow up with whatever weaknesses you have within yourself. He's setting the example that you can change it and be better. So it's more than just basketball. It's more than just basketball.
All right, Richy Rich, man, what's your take on the foolery that Jalik the leader just uttered?
Jalik, man, Jalik, you got some nerve, bro. Going there, pumping that smoking KD like that. Hey, man, listen. If you're gonna go at KD, then you gotta go at your so-called GOAT. Yeah, man. What? Let's talk about that move to Miami. When LeBron said that was a business decision, there was a reason why he went chip. There was a reason why he went chip.
Hey, Jalik,
I'll let you talk, buddy. I'll let you talk.
Yeah,
there was a reason why
he went to drop that ether on your ass, though.
There was a reason why he went to Miami, man. He had to win those chips because he was trying to reach the global branding. He was trying to be his market, his brand. He was trying to like branch it out a lot more, and he couldn't do that without winning a title. Him going to Miami, teaming up with Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh, that was a guaranteed title. He may have not won it in 2011 because of his choking performance, but we eventually knew that team was going to win multiple titles, man. Come on. They basically monopolized the Eastern Conference, you know, and you know they pretty much went to the championship for 4 years. They basically put a stamp on that Eastern Conference and made sure they were going to be the team to always go to that finals in those 4 years. And we all know when you keep going to the finals that number of times, you're going to eventually win one or two. You know, it was pretty much assured that that team was going to win 2 championships. They underachieved because a team like that should have won more than 2. They shouldn't have been 50%. They should have been above 50%. But LeBron James went ring chasing, man. And Kevin Durant followed suit because he saw that LeBron James was able to make a move like that, and he was still able to be praised. You know, KD did the same move, but he wasn't praised, man, because you know they just like LeBron more than him. But Kevin Durant, man, you shouldn't knock that man. That man just made a chess move, but people didn't really gravitate to it like that. The public didn't gravitate to it like that. Now let's touch on the Miami Heat. You got to give Jimmy Butler his props. I've been a critic of Jimmy Butler, so you know I got to take that L. He's shown me that he could go to another team and he could redeem. You really see the bonding between that team, the camaraderie. Those guys are doing their thing, man. You know, they weren't the favorites in this series, and look, they're up 3-1. Boston Celtics should have been the team to be up in this series because they have been the team that's been in the last 3 Eastern Conference Finals in the past 6 seasons, man. But yet Miami is up on this team 3-1 with 1 game to be in the finals ever since 2004, 2005. When LeBron lost to the Heat lost to the Spurs and LeBron decided to leave. He was going to go back to Cleveland. That's the last time they went to the finals, man. So you got to give it to this club, man. I think that they have a legit chance. If they get into a finals, they got to close things out, obviously, against the Celtics. But if they get into the finals, you got to look at the makeup of their team, man. They have a team that could really challenge the Lakers if the Lakers get into the finals. Because when you're looking at these teams that the Lakers are playing, it's where you looking at LeBron James, you don't see any perimeter defender, man, that's able to like stay in front of them. Denver Nuggets, they got guys like Jeremy Grant. You know, he's gonna try his best, but he's not really known. He's not one of those upper echelon defenders in the NBA like that. So you see it, LeBron, he's able to do whatever he wants out there. The series against the Rockets, they had no one that could stay in front of LeBron. Portland, no one that could stand in front of LeBron. The Miami Heat got Jimmy Butler. They got Andre Iguodala. They got Jay Crowder, man. They got bodies, man, to throw at LeBron. Bam Adebayo, I like that athleticism. I like that girth from him, man. That boy, he looked like he gonna make AD work. And plus, they got these young players, man. That boy, they got Tyler Hero, Derrick Jones Jr., Derek Nunn. You already know what Goran Dragic gonna do. Goran Dragic, he's worth his contract, man. That man is always giving you consistent numbers. He always giving you consistent numbers. And then they got other solid players on the bench, that come in and do their job, man. And they're a well-coached basketball team. You got to give it to Eric Spoelstra. Eric Spoelstra, man, has proven that, he is one of the best coaches in the NBA. When it comes down to X's and O's, that man knows what he's doing. So you got kudos to Pat Riley for not giving up on that guy. When LeBron James wanted that guy out, when things weren't working out the way they were in their first year together, he stuck with that guy because he knows that guy. That guy's like he's like a book, one of those geeks, man, that like something, like the geeks that are into like computers. They just know things. That's how Eric Spoelstra, looks at basketball, man. He's like one of those geeks, man. He's like really into it. He's passionate about it, breaking down the X's and O's. So that team has a really good shot, man. Obviously, they got to handle business. And, and if they get to the finals, they have a puncher's chance, man.
All right. You said what you had to say, Richy Rich? All right. Now, let me jump on it. First of all, this is going to be a two-headed, double-edged sword.
Yeah.
That's going to attack, what's his name? Jalik, the non-leader. This is what non-leaders don't understand. You can't use the alpha terminology and then talk about Kevin Durant the way that you talk about Kevin Durant. If there is a non-alpha, the highest form of a non-alpha is LeBron James. LeBron James is the highest variation of what we call a high-octane beta, aka alpha wannabe. He gives you the similitude of an alpha, but he lacks the fullness thereof. Let me say it again. He gives you the similitude of an alpha, but he lacks the fullness thereof. You have to understand who's the first chip chaser. It's LeBron James. Who is the origination of chip chasing? LeBron James. Kevin Durant didn't do no damn chip chasing. See, this is what people need to understand. And see what Jalik, the non-leader, doesn't understand is LeBron James was begging Kevin Durant to go play for the Cleveland Cavaliers. I noticed he didn't bring that up. I noticed he didn't have anything to say about that. If you want to go back and do your research on 2016 and go do the dichotomy of the trading landscape, the free agency landscape, you're going to see LeBron James was begging for those damn services. You know what Kevin Durant told him? Bend the proverbial fucking knee. Be the Robin to my Batman. LeBron didn't want to do that. So you know what Kevin Durant said? Then I'll whoop your fucking ass. Either you kiss the fucking knee of the dude that's going to drop the 35 crooked little in your damn face and embarrass your ass like he did back to back, because Kevin Durant is the reason why the legacy is officially done. The cachet is a fucking over. It's because of Kevin Durant. I know this to be true because I have a brother that is a LeBron tar just like you, and he can't even utter the word Kevin Durant. When he utters it, he has to utter it with respect. Any LeBron James fan has to give respect, or they have an actual hate for Kevin Durant. You know why? Because Kevin Durant embarrassed LeBron James in the NBA Finals, where legends are made. Kevin Durant boasts a 67 percentile winning advantage over LeBron James, where legends are made. And when you think of the NBA pantheon of greatness, LeBron James is abysmal. What? 3 for 9, 33.3% NBA Finals average. That's atrocious. Don't give me that Rudy plum brain stuff. Don't give me that classic golden troglodyte stuff. Don't give me that ultra fanboy with the ultra fanboy rhetoric, i.e. La Participation Award era nonsense. Whereas Kevin Durant was sitting to be 75 percentile in NBA Finals average. Do you know why the Toronto Raptors won that series? It's because Kevin Durant didn't show up. If you go look at Serge Ibaka's show that he has on YouTube, What Are You Cooking Next? Kevin Durant looked at him dead in his face and told him, the only reason why you motherfuckers won because I wasn't there. Do you know the level of true alpha extraordinaire ship that you have to have? Do you know the level of true alpha economics you have to look at somebody in their dead ass face and tell them, look, motherfucker, the only reason why you won was because I wasn't fucking there. And that's true. Because ain't nobody got no answer for me. And then Serge Ibaka said, well, we got Kawhi. Kawhi, what? Can't nobody guard me. I'm KD, Trey 5. I'm the Slim Reaper. It's the truth. This guy's 7 feet. If you tell me and you talk about Kevin Durant the way that you do, you need to recheck your basketball knowledge. Even LeBron James bends the fucking proverbial knee to Kevin Durant. I've never seen LeBron James hug a player at the end of the game. He had to do that with Kevin Durant because he had to bend the fucking knee to Kevin Durant's superiority over his ass. He knows that Kevin Durant owns him. He can't guard him. Kevin Durant is an anomaly. He's a 7-foot guy that runs like a point guard, a 50, 40, 90 walking gazelle. This is why LeBron Tars can't stand Kevin Durant. Because Kevin Durant put LeBron James in his place when he said that dealing with LeBron James is a little toxic as you know what environment. All you got is a bunch of media heads, LBJ Riders media that's gargling the freaking LaBalls. And you know what LeBron did because he felt some type of way about it? Oh, Kevin, man, you ain't had to do me like that in media, man. LeBron is always kissing Kevin Durant's ass because he knows Kevin Durant can bust his ass at any fucking time. If you know basketball, you know this. Kevin Durant is the most versatile basketball player in the game. He's the most efficient and most effortless scorer the league has ever seen. You're not going to see another player like Kevin Durant. Just like you ain't never going to see another player like Michael Jordan. Just like you ain't never going to see another player like Kobe Bryant. You ain't never going to see another player like Kevin Durant. This is a 50, 40, 90 walking gazelle. He makes any team that he goes to seamless. You put Kevin Durant in any team, this bullshit that they say about LeBron makes any team, that's bullshit. You put Kevin Durant on any team, that team is automatically better. Now, you want to sit here and tell me chip chasing with the Golden State Warriors? The Golden State Warriors begged for Kevin Durant's services. Kevin Durant had an option. He could have went to the Los Angeles Clippers. He could have went to Cleveland Cavaliers. LeBron didn't kiss the ring and he didn't bend the fucking knee. And if LeBron would have done that, LeBron would have been sitting on rings. All LeBron had to do was just be the Robin to Kevin Durant's Batman. That's it. That's all he had to fucking do. And LeBron would not have a 3 for 9, 33.3% NBA Finals average and performance because Kevin Durant would have led his ass to the promised land because basketball at its highest levels is give me the ball and get the fuck out of my way. That's basketball at its highest levels. I just summed it up in that terminology. The greatest players of all time, when the game is on the line, they tell you, give me the ball and get the fuck out of my way. LeBron doesn't even understand that terminology because he makes the quote unquote right play. We don't even know what that is in basketball. We don't even understand that. Magic Johnson, the greatest passer ever. When the game was on the line, give me the ball and get the fuck out of my way. Larry Bird, Larry Legend. When the game was on the line, give me the ball and get the fuck out of my way. See, I have NBA pantheon of greatness on my side. I have 50 greatest players on my side. I have NBA history on my side. So there's nothing that you could say to refute an irrefutable point. Kevin Durant is the ultimate annihilator of LeBron James. He beat LeBron James in back-to-back NBA Finals. When LeBron James basically regressed Stephen Curry, the high-octane beta, aka alpha wannabe, and put him in his damn place. That's when I knew Stephen Curry wasn't about shit. So you want to sit here and say he joined the Golden State Warriors? Who the fuck was Golden State Warriors? They lost to LeBron. Losing to LeBron is a shame. You're not supposed to lose to a guy that loses so much in the NBA Finals. That's a knock on you. So that was a knock on Stephen Curry. And who did Stephen Curry beg for? Who did Klay Thompson beg for? Who did Draymond Green beg for? They begged for Kevin Durant to come there. You heard what Kevin Durant said. I wasn't going to go to the Golden State Warriors until Stephen Curry fixed his mouth. And Stephen Curry said, look, man, You could come to the team. I will defer the leadership of the team to you. It's going to be your team. I don't mind being a second cog. That came out of Stephen Curry's mouth because he understood that if Kevin Durant was going to be on that team, Kevin Durant had to be unquestionably the alpha. There was just no way, two ways around that. And what you got to understand is LeBron James can't stand a Kevin Durant of the world because of what Kevin Durant has done to him. Like I said, the only player in this current landscape that owns a 67th percentile winning advantage. You can't refute that because men lie, women lie, numbers don't. That was a terminology Jay-Z famously made. Let me say it again. Men lie, women lie, numbers don't. They've played each other in 3 NBA finals. Kevin Durant owns that fucking ass, or he owns that ass. That's the bottom of the line. So I get it. When you speak with your LeBron tardisms, you either speaking out of hatred for Kevin Durant, or you're speaking out of the sense of you just have to have revere or respect. That's what LeBron tards do. There's 2 variations of LeBron tards. You got my brother that's a LeBron tard. He speaks out of revere and respect for Kevin Durant because he knows once Kevin Durant comes back, the league will be on notice. LeBron James will have anxiety. LeBron James will have the depression. LeBron James will have all mental psychosis, mental psychosis and mental diagnosis out of his ass. This is why he's trying to win this least path of resistance NBA title, this fraudulent, fluky, on-the-spot NBA title, because once Kevin Durant comes back, LeBron is fucking done. Everyone knows that. That's why I can't wait till Kevin Durant comes back, because the natural order of basketball will be restored. Anybody that sits here out of their own mouth and tells you that Kevin Durant is not a legit basketball player or he was ring chasing, you don't know shit about basketball. You need to get your basketball checked. And maybe that's why we got your ass on the panel, so you can learn a thing or two about basketball. When you think of Kevin Durant, you have to think of the ultimate package basketball player in today's game. There's nothing that Kevin Durant does that's a weakness. He shoots the free throw percentage at over 86%. LeBron doesn't even understand it. Matter of fact, LeBron James' field goal percentage is the opposite, 68%. Kevin Durant shoots the three-point shot at nearly 40%. Has LeBron ever touched that? Kevin Durant is shooting the field goal percentage from the outside at nearly 50%. We're talking about from the outside, 18 feet and out. Does LeBron know anything about that? Or Mac trucking to the basket? LeBron takes a lot of errant shots. If you guys want to understand LeBron James's game, LeBron James' game is dribble, 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 dribble. Oh, in the last 3 seconds, let me pass it to this guy. Oh no, he's not gonna take the shot. Dribble, 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 shoot, brick. That's LeBron James's game. And if he's on, maybe he might make the shot. LeBron's game is not, it's not superior. LeBron James, I'm about to tell you this, and it's going to get your ass hot and bothered like grits because you came after KD. Everybody know you come after KD, I'm dropping ether, that shit that make your soul burn slow, dog. It's cemetery silence up in this motherfucker. KD is untouchable to LeBron Tars. You're supposed to have revere and respect. You're supposed to bend the fucking knee as a LeBron Tar to Kevin Durant because he owned LeBron. Anytime you talk about Kevin Durant, it better be revere and respect out of your damn mouth because he owns LeBron. There's no other superstar that can say that. Kawhi Leonard and LeBron are tied. Kevin Durant owns that ass. Owns that fucking ass. That's the bottom line. Now we have to sit here and ask ourselves, what has Kevin Durant done to LeBron James? He has basically made LBJ Riders media hate Kevin Durant because he has single-handedly messed up LeBron James's legacy. Do you realize Kevin Durant going to the Golden State Warriors screwed LeBron? Because LeBron was onto something when he had something on Stephen Curry's ass. And you know what Stephen Curry and them did? They were smart. We begged for Kevin Durant to bring his ass over there. And when Kevin Durant brought his ass over there, what happened? The legacy was officially done, dog. LeBron didn't know how to deal with that. That's why you saw LeBron was taking shots after the Golden State Warriors. And you as a LeBron tar was following him. Remember, you've been brain full of mush and brainwashed like a dodo head for the last 17, 18 plus years. So I expect that from you. I expect you to give me LeBron tardisms. And what is LeBron tard? It's a LeBron fan that's retarded at the same time. You're putting it together, it's a LeBron tard. So I expect that from you. I expect the retardation or the love retardation to come out of your mouth. Anybody that sits here and has a hate for Kevin Durant, it has to be hate that's justifiable. Like it has to be that Michael Jordan type of hate where you just hate the greatness. Or it has to be that Kobe Bryant hate where you just hate the greatness. But to sit there and fashion your mouth in LeBron tard fashion to say that Kevin Durant ain't that dude, then you don't know shit about basketball. When you showcase hate for Kevin Durant, just say, man, I can't stand Kevin Durant because Kevin Durant owned LeBron James' ass, and Kevin Durant, he ran LeBron James, and he fucked LeBron James' legacy up. Now, if you start talking in that manner, now I can respect you because I heard LeBron Tar say that. Damn, he knows. You was on to something with KD Trade 5, dog. You was on to something to the Slim Reaper because that dude right there, he owned LeBron. That's why I can't wait for next year because LeBron is done. Why do you think he's running so fast to get this NBA restart? Why do you think he's running so fast to get this least path of resistance NBA title? Why do you think he's running so fast to get this fraudulent fluky on the spot NBA title? Because he knows Kevin Durant is on that ass. And you heard head coach Steve Nash. He said Kevin Durant will be playing all 5 positions from point guard to center. Kevin Durant realistically can play that. LeBron can't because LeBron James is 6'8", without shoes, 6'9" with shoes. That's not center height. Kevin Durant is 6'11 and a half without shoes, 7 feet with shoes. That's a center height that can damn near play point guard. That is the realistic all 5 positions because Kevin Durant can block centers. We've seen this. We've seen him block Anthony Davis. We've seen him block DeMarcus Cousins. We've seen Kevin Durant block all these motherfuckers. And we've seen Kevin Durant guard up point guards and lock their ass down at the same time. This is why we call him a 50-40-90 walking gazelle. You got to understand, when you come after Kevin Durant, you open up a sleeping giant. Anyone on this platform knows this. Kevin Durant is untouchable. That's like talking about Michael Jordan. That's like talking about Kobe Bryant. I'm coming for your ass. You just better just leave that alone because I have numbers on my side, I have stats on my side, and I have everything else on my side that justifies that he runs LeBron James roughshod. They played in 3 NBA finals. And the only reason why Kevin Durant is not 3-0 sweep on LeBron James is because the NBA did not want LeBron James to be the biggest bust the NBA has ever seen. Did you even know that? Did you even know that that year that LeBron James beat Kevin Durant, that happened to be the first year he won an NBA title, Stephen A. Smith was on a rant saying that LeBron James is going to be the biggest bust the NBA has ever seen. Yes, I'm bringing that ether on your ass because you done open up a can of worms. Notice, anytime we talk about Kevin Durant, anybody knows on this platform, I can go on a soliloquy with that shit. Don't do that, dog. That's what I'm going to tell you right now. That's the worst thing you could do in your life. Talk about Kevin Durant because that motherfucker owns LeBron James. He owns him. If you're a LeBron fan, accept that. 3 NBA finals, the highest stage, Kevin Durant owns LeBron James. That's not even a question. And when you want to sit here and tell me, well, he had to go to say words. Kyrie Irving wasn't a super player. Kevin Love wasn't a super player. That was a super team. And LeBron James played with a super team prior to that and gave you only 50%. I mean, come on. This is the dude that told you not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4. Oh, no, my bad. 2. That's what he was able to get, 2 out of 4. But yet he played with Dwayne Wade and Chris. Could you have understood if Kevin Durant played with Dwayne Wade and Chris Paul? Do you know how many NBA finals would have been won? It would have been a 4-for-4 sweep. There would have been no way the Dallas Mavericks would have been able to hang with that 7-foot gazelle, man. Are you kidding me? The San Antonio Spurs, Kawhi Leonard couldn't even be able to guard Kevin Durant. This is why LeBron James is limited, because LeBron James does not have a refined basketball game. See, you don't know nothing about basketball. It's clear. That's why you on the panel, because we're going to teach you some things about basketball. When I say refined game of basketball, understand what I mean by that. Refined meaning a post game. Refined meaning put the ball on the floor. You don't know anything about these things. Up and under, pivot foot. He don't have none of that. Fadeaways. He doesn't have none of that. He don't know how to put the ball on the floor. LeBron don't even understand what that language means. Turnaround shot from the right. Turnaround shot from the left. Double pump fadeaway. Does he even know any of that? Pull-up shot. LeBron don't know none of that shit. All LeBron knows is dribble, and shoot and throw an airing up shot. And if it wasn't for Chris Bosh, that player on the Miami Heat, who was the most efficient pick and pop artist, LeBron James wouldn't even have 2 NBA titles. So don't get me started on LeBron James. LeBron James has won every NBA title because there has been a asterisk that's been associated with it. His first NBA title, Dwayne Wade should have been Finals MVP. Yeah, I said it, and I'm going to say it again. Dwayne Wade should have been Finals MVP because Dwayne Wade locked down Russell Westbrook. Dwayne Wade don't get enough credit for that. the second NBA Finals, it should be a two-way split between Chris Bosh and Ray Allen. Because if Chris Bosh don't get the rebound, Ray Allen don't hit the three, LeBron don't even have a finals. And then the last NBA Finals, we know Kyrie Irving, 241 points and a 35-point. And then Draymond Green got suspended and Andrew Bogut went down. That's how LeBron was all of a sudden able to go to the rim. Because when Andrew Bogut was there, LeBron wasn't able to go to the rim. Remember, Lewis is the always NBA encyclopedia. But let's believe, whenever I want to open up his NBA encyclopedia and I want to operate in that motherfucker, I can operate in that motherfucker anytime. Because it's off the dome. I don't need to read nothing. It's off the dome. I'm giving you history here. LeBron has won because of asterisks. When Kevin Durant has won his NBA titles, he was unquestionably the finals MVP because he ram-a-langed the competition. Do you want to know that Kevin Durant dropped 35.7 points per game in the NBA finals? Dog, higgity fucking hush. That's the third highest point percentage after Michael Jeffrey Jordan and Shaquille O'Neal. If you knew basketball, you would know this. LeBron has been nowhere near that. Do you understand the level of dichotomy that you got to be on for you to score at that level? And I can tell you the list is a top 5. LeBron is nowhere to be found. Michael Jordan with 40 PPGs, Shaquille O'Neal with 36, Kevin Durant with 35.7, Dwayne Wade with 34.7, and Kobe Bryant at number 5 with 32.5. LeBron is nowhere to be found. He don't put up those epic performances in the NBA Finals. He don't even know what that shit looks like. So don't get me started when you're going to sit here and tell me about Kevin Durant. That tells me you don't know nothing about basketball. You're not qualified to talk about basketball when you say that Kevin Durant is not that dude. I understand you're a LeBron tart, but your mouth need to be fixed to say that I revere Kevin Durant and I respect him and I'm feeling some type of way about Kevin Durant, and I can understand that. That would be honesty. See, I've heard LeBron tarts give me honesty when they talk about Kevin Durant. But don't sit here and give me this nonsense that Kevin Durant don't play basketball, because it's not an indictment on me. It's an indictment on you. It tells me that you're not qualified to talk basketball. You're not qualified to basically talk about how the game of basketball operates. And we get it. LeBron tar trolls are in there. We get it. They can't take the heat because anytime you talk Kevin Durant, they feel in some type of way. But it is what it is. Kevin Durant owns LeBron James, and you need to accept that. Don't give me this nonsense about Kevin Durant ring chase. LeBron James, if he didn't join Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh, what the fuck is a ring chase? If that's not a ring chase. If LeBron was so what you say he was, why didn't he stay his rabbit ass in Cleveland? Those LeBron tarts, yeah? Why didn't LeBron James stay in Cleveland? Yeah, I'm coming for LeBron. Why didn't his ass stay in Cleveland? Because LeBron knew if he would have stayed in Cleveland, he would have won zilch. Dwayne Wade saved this motherfucker's career. See, that's why I said, when you talk LeBron, be realistic. Don't give me this retardism with LeBron James. That's why I had to call y'all motherfuckers LeBron tards. Because now y'all talking retardation now. It's not even basketball. To sit here and say that Kevin Durant, fix your mouth, dog. Hey, wash your mouth with mouthwash, dog. You don't have no right to talk basketball when you sit here and say, Kevin Durant? Are you kidding me? A LeBron annihilator? The dude that in fucking LeBron's legacy? Come on, man. This is basketball we're talking about here. That's just like when Michael Jordan in Magic Johnson. That's what Kevin Durant did. It was the equivalent of that. It was basically, look, you ain't on my level. These motherfuckers say you better than me. I'm in the NBA Finals. I'm embarrassing your ass. And LeBron James didn't even want to guard him the next year. The next year, he said, J.R. Smith, Cook, you go guard him. I don't want to be on ESPN Top 10 Live. You know why? Because he can't guard Kevin Durant. These are facts. Nobody can guard Kevin Durant. He's unstoppable. He's an anomaly. And then when you want to sit here and tell me Jimmy Butler, who hasn't even fucking won an NBA title, I like Jimmy Butler, but don't make me get on Jimmy Butler now. Don't make me ether and murk Jimmy Butler. And I like him. But this motherfucker ain't won shit. And you're going to compare him to a guy that has 2 finals and 2 finals MVP that could have had 3 finals and 3 finals MVP? Where did you get your basketball knowledge from? From the toilet? Did you get it from the dumpster? Did you get it from the trash? Or did it just manufacture as doo-doo in your damn brain? Where'd you get it from? I'm trying to understand this. Anybody that knows basketball knows that Kevin Durant is that dude. That's basketball knowledge. That's like embedded theology in basketball. You should know this. That's why LeBron tards hate Kevin Durant. They don't hate Kevin Durant because they hate him because Kevin Durant's not good. You know why people hate somebody? That's just like in boxing, like you and all these other people that hate Earl Spence. It's because they hate greatness. When you hate, you got to understand, when people hate somebody so much, it's because it's greatness personification. That's what you don't understand. They're hating the greatness of that person. They're not hating the person because they hating them. And then you want to sit here and say, Kevin Durant could have won NBA titles with the Los Angeles Clippers. Do you not realize he would have been with Chris Paul and Blake Griffin and DeAndre Jordan? That would have been championships on top of championships. Do you not understand he would have won in Cleveland with LeBron James, and LeBron would have kissed the ring, bend the fucking knee, and beat a Robin? He could have won there. With him, Kyrie Irving, Kevin Love, he could have fucking won there. And there was Miami Heat. You want to tell me about Jimmy Butler? Look, Kevin Durant could have potentially went to Miami Heat. Pat Riley was begging for Kevin Durant services. Am I lying, Richy Rich? Am I freaking lying? Pat Riley was begging for those damn services because he knew what Kevin Durant brought to the table. So when you sit here and talk basketball and you talk Kevin Durant, fix your mouth to talk the right way. And then you want to sit here and talk about if Kevin Durant's so good, what about Russell Westbrook? Well, what about LeBron James' first 9 years? Justify that with the Cleveland Cavaliers. You want to talk about the Oklahoma City Thunder, but you ain't telling me about the 9 years with the Cleveland Cavaliers. Why did he have the quick game against the Boston Celtics? See, everything you drop, I always have a counter for it. Why did LeBron James have an epic failure in the 2007 NBA Finals? Don't tell me that was his first NBA Finals. He was playing against a competition that was just so. Nah, I don't want to hear that bullshit. If you good enough to make an NBA Finals, your ass is good enough to fucking lose. So what was that? What happened to LeBron James when he had an epic failure against the Orlando Magic? You see, you want to sit here and focus on a situation that did not work with the Oklahoma City Thunder because he was playing with Russell Westbrook that didn't know his role and didn't know his fucking place. But then you don't want to tell me about the 9 years that LeBron James played when he played with the Cleveland Cavaliers. Come on, man. This is basketball knowledge right here. Salute to Boxing Logics United. Appreciate the super chat, bro. That's basketball knowledge. That's common work right there. The bottom line is this. If you talking basketball, you have to talk a language that makes sense. You have to talk a language that people can understand. And if you have a hatred for Kevin Durant, it better be because you revere greatness, not because you're talking about, oh, he sucks. Now, what you just did is you indicted yourself as a person that don't know the game of basketball. That's like me saying LeBron James is the most garbage basketball player. I would never say that. LeBron James is a very, very good basketball player. Great, that's stretching it. And I have proof to verify that. But he's a very, 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 I mean, if you want to throw very on top of good all the way into infinity, yes, that's what LeBron James is a basketball player. I'll give you that all day, every day. But when you want to talk about Kevin Durant, his talent showcases itself. Whatever team that Kevin Durant goes to, that team is automatically primed to win. And you watch next year with the Brooklyn Nets. You're going to be right here running your rabbit ass mouth. If you think the Miami Heat, listen, man, the Miami Heat is only having success because Kevin Durant is not here to save the fucking day. Once Kevin Durant gets here with Kyrie Irving and that Brooklyn Nets team, because that Brooklyn Nets team is stacked, Miami Heat is screwed. Milwaukee Bucks is screwed. Everybody in the East is fucking screwed because Kevin Durant is back. The anomaly is back. That's what you got to understand, man. That's what basketball is all about. This is not about no stats that are superficial, blah, blah, blah. If you want to talk about stats that are superficial, it's LeBron James. LeBron James is supposed this almost triple-double guy, but he's done it at a 3-for-9 abysmal NBA Finals average. So you don't understand the game of basketball. Those who have sat here and have been statisticians, i.e. the Jerry West's of the world, i.e. the LeBron Jameses of the world, i.e. the Wilt Chamberlains of the world, you know what is common with them? Commonality, common law. They are losers in the NBA Finals more than they are winners. These are facts. Kevin Durant has won more NBA Finals than he's lost. So don't give me this superficial stat about Kevin Durant. The bottom line is this. Kevin Durant owns your guy in the NBA Finals. You can't justify that. So now you're running with nonsense. That's typical LeBron tardism. And I get it. Like I told you, it's two relationships with Kevin Durant. It's either you love Kevin Durant and you respect him, or you hate Kevin Durant and you can't stand him. And with LeBron tards, it's two dichotomies. They respect Kevin Durant, but they can't stand him, or They just hate Kevin Durant, and they just want, like it is right now, him to be out of the equation. Do you understand why LeBron James has a lifeline? You ever watch that show, Who's Going to Be the Millionaire? And the way that they explain it, people get lifelines on that show, right? Because they can't get the question, so they got to use their lifelines or whatnot. LeBron James's lifeline is because Kevin Durant is not in the NBA right now. When Kevin Durant comes back, they're lifeline. He knows that the legacy is officially over. He knows that the cachet is officially done. That's why Kevin Durant is winning this asterisk NBA title. This is a joke of an NBA title. This title is not even real. Anybody that wins this title this year, Jalik, so you understand, they are the laughing stock of the NBA. That's why Shaquille O'Neal said it was a fraudulent, fluky on the spot NBA title. With all of the stuff that's going on right now, this NBA title don't mean nothing. I don't care who wins it. It's an asterisk NBA title because you didn't have the best talent on the floor. You didn't have the best player in the game, unquestionably, in Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant has been the best player in the game of basketball for the last 5 years. Running. Easy. And when I say easy, I'm talking about easy peasy. It's not even close. He is not there on the floor. So LeBron James is clearly not playing against the best competition. And if he's not playing against the best competition, how can you sit here and justify this NBA title? See, that's what people need to understand. That's what people need to get in their brain. Now, as it relates to the Miami Heat is a quality team as it relates to their situation with the Boston Celtics. When you look at their dichotomy, they're primed to beat the Boston Celtics because they're a more complete package basketball team. So I expect the Miami Heat to close this thing out in 5 to 6 games. And they're going to be an NBA Finals recipient. And when they get there, the Lakers, as I expect, is going to beat the Miami Heat. Yes, I said it. Because they need LeBron James to win this 4th NBA title so that you as a LeBron tard can be justified and say, hey, you see, LeBron got 4 NBA titles, and I'm going to be right there to remind you in 10 fucking tries. And he's a 40% averager and performer. Bottom line is this. When you talk Kevin Durant, you got to talk the respect of basketball. If you don't talk Kevin Durant and you don't talk the respect of basketball, then it just showcases that you're missing a few screws when it comes to the game of basketball. That's just the bottom line. That's just how it rolls. Kevin Durant either has to be a respect, revered, hate, or it just has to be the fact that you can't stand him because of greatness personification. Not because of you saying what you're saying because you want to sound like a panel troll. That's what you sound like to me. Anybody that uses that terminology, that's trollism. That's not realityism. That's what it is. Only trolls say Kevin Durant sucks. Only trolls say Kevin Durant can't play the game of basketball. That's nonsensical. And I'm going to leave it at that.
The people wanted you to break down the non-intangibles, not the superficial stats, but I guess you didn't get it, bro. It's all good. You'll learn. You're a smart guy. You'll figure it out.
It wasn't about that. It was about dumping on you. That's what it was about. And I dumped on you, and I dumped on you pretty well because the bottom line is this, and you can't get around that. And I know that's what LeBron Tar's got to do. Outliers, which is you need to use it. No, the bottom line was you said Kevin Durant sucked. You said Kevin Durant is a ring chaser. So I had to clarify that, and I had to explain to you why he doesn't suck. Because if he sucks, that means LeBron James suck even worse because he owns LeBron James in the NBA Finals. You can't. That's one thing you can't run around. If you're a LeBron fan, you have to admit that. You have to bend the fucking knee to that. That is something that has to be testimony out of your mouth. You know how people go to the church and they testify? That's what you got to do. You got to testify or let testify. Kevin Durant owns LeBron James. I mean, that's just common law. That's why they can't stand Kevin Durant. Now, if you want to talk about intangibles, I can explain that to you.
Break it down.
Intangibles is this. Intangibles is this. It's really simple. Intangibles is this. In the game of basketball, free throw shooting is an intangible. I don't know if you knew that. Free throw shooting is intangible, and I did cover that. Kevin Durant shoots the free throw percentage at an 86% clip. LeBron James shoots at 68. Right there, he's already ethered and murked LeBron James. Intangibles. Pressurized situations, situational basketball. That's intangibles right there because that's not something you could count for in stats. Kevin Durant runs LeBron in that. When the game is on the line, in situational basketball, someone to give you a key basket, someone to change the pace of the game, change the momentum. This is intangible basketball. Kevin Durant owns LeBron James. He runs circles around his ass with that. being able to put the ball on the floor and being able to create something. Off the ball basketball player, that's another intangible. Do you not understand that Kevin Durant is the greatest? And I'm not even talking about in just today's NBA history. I'm gonna give you another intangible for your ass. See, I can go into context with what you talking about, then I can get out of context and go back and get. That's the difference between me and you as a LeBron outlier. You just going a outlier. So let me bring my ass into your context realm and Ethan Murk you there. Off the ball, Kevin Durant is the greatest off-ball superstar the NBA's ever seen. He doesn't need the basketball much to score the way that he scores. Anybody that knows basketball knows this. That's an intangible. Do you want more intangibles? Because I keep dumping it on your ass.
Yeah, talk about
how LeBron James and how Kevin Durant owns LeBron James.
His leadership qualities.
Oh, it's clear. Leadership qualities is clear. 3 NBA finals. No. You asked the question. You asked the question, so I'm gonna bury you right here. 3 NBA finals. We had a chance to see leadership qualities between LeBron James and Kevin Durant. Do you want to know what the definition of leadership in basketball is? Is winning an NBA finals. That's the ultimate definition. Yes, that's what it is. If you don't know that, then you don't know basketball. That's the ultimate definition of leadership. Winning. At the highest level of basketball, that's what it is. Winning an NBA chip. They faced each other 3 times. Kevin Durant's leadership is 2-1 versus LeBron James. You want to keep on going? Keep going. So I keep dumping on your ass. Let's go. Keep going.
What type of qualities does he have them besides stats that can bring his team together? And can you also speak on the fact that when Russell Westbrook got hurt that time and Reggie Jackson was playing, why didn't they get past the second round? Go ahead.
Okay. Good question. They didn't get past the second round. And I explain it. Do you want me to explain it or do you not want me to explain it? Which one do you want?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Now, the reason why they didn't get in the second round, if you remember that year was not a great year for the Oklahoma City Thunder. That year they had a bunch of injuries that was associated. Kevin Durant was injured that year and Russell Westbrook was injured that year. They were not at full strength. They didn't go all the way from the regular season going into the playoffs at full strength. That's why they got eliminated in the second round. As a matter of fact, by the time they made it into the postseason, both players were just in what you would say supposed regular season basketball shape going into the postseason. That's what happened that calendar year.
Let me ask you this. Did Pippen, when the last year that the Bulls won that chip, did Pippen play the whole season? Yes,
What do you mean the last year the Bulls win? What does that have to do with LeBron James and Kevin Durant? That's an outlier. No. Bring your ass back into context. You're talking Chicago Bulls. I'm not going to answer that. Let's focus with Kevin Durant and LeBron James. I know I'm running your ass in circles. So now you're finding all kinds of stuff that have nothing to do with what we're talking about here.
Right?
Focus on Kevin Durant and focus on LeBron James. If you can't do that, then we got to move on to the next topic. I know I'm running you in circles right now.
You talking
focus on Kevin Durant and focus on LeBron James. What does Chicago Bulls have to do with this?
Let me explain it to you. You talking about
No. Don't give me Chicago Bulls. We're talking LeBron James. Use LeBron James.
You blaming injuries on Kevin Durant.
Use LeBron James. Don't give me Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan is the ultimate player. Don't give me that. Give me LeBron James. You know why you can't give me LeBron James? Because LeBron has failed too much. I get it. You run it. Listen, I don't put you in the corner right now. I got you deep in the corner, and you don't know how to get out of the corner. So let's move on to the next topic. Because now you don't Michael Jordan. What does that have to do with what we're talking about here?
Bro, that's superficial stuff. I'm talking about.
No, it's not superficial stuff. You're talking about Chicago Bulls, y'all. I want the chat. You guys see how I'm burying this dude. You guys see how I'm pushing this dude in the back on the back of the edge here. This dude had to go to Chicago Bulls. That has nothing to do. You know why? Because he realizes LeBron don't have that many successes for him to talk about. This is the thing with LeBron tards. You put them in a corner, they don't have enough reference to go by. You asked me a question, I answered the question. What the fuck does that have to do with Kevin Durant and LeBron James? Let's focus on the context.
The reason why I said that, because you making excuses for Kevin Durant.
No, I'm not making excuses for Kevin Durant. You brought up Chicago Bulls. That makes what you're doing right now invalid. If you wanted to keep going tooth and nail, you had to give me LeBron references. You're not giving me LeBron references. You're giving me Chicago Bulls. So basically what has happened is this. I am putting that pressure on you because that's what I'm known for. I'm a Tibetan Mastiff. If you know what the Tibetan Mastiff dog is all about, which you probably know, research the Tibetan mass shift. The Tibetan mass shift applies unlimited pressure. See, when I apply unlimited pressure, people can't handle it. You know why? Because I'm coming at you in 10 different ways. I done came at your ass in 10 different ways. The people in the chat see that. Okay. That's why the people in the chat laughing at you, because you brought up Chicago Bulls. That has nothing to do with LeBron James. It has nothing to do with Kevin Durant. It's laughable at this point.
KD, and it's more situations. Why KD choked against Golden State and shot what it was in Game 6 or 7.
Oh, you want to say that? You want to say why he choked? You want to say why he choked? Let me tell you why he choked. Let me tell you why he choked. No, let me tell you why he choked. Let me tell you why he choked. Let me tell you why he choked. Let me tell you why he choked.
Why?
He choked because he choked. See, that's the answer. I can give you an answer. He choked because he choked.
And he didn't get
Russell Westbrook. Hold on. I'm gonna answer your question. Russell Westbrook didn't do what he was supposed to, but since Kevin Durant was a leader, it was a choke job. But why did LeBron James choke in 2011 versus the Dallas Mavericks? Do you know that the biggest epic failure in NBA Finals history? That's the biggest epic failure. What's your answer to that? Why did LeBron James choke? No, you want me to give you an answer. I gave you an answer. Man up, grab your cojones, and give me an answer. Why did LeBron James choke in 2011?
We talking about Kevin Durant.
No. We're talking Kevin Durant and LeBron James. We're doing comparison. You can't even stick on context. You can't even do that. You can't even do that. Okay, conversation is done. Let's move on to the next topic, because I know I hurt your feelings when I brought up 2011. I buried you some. I put you in what we call a 4-finger lock. If you want to know what a 4-finger lock is, that's what Jay-Z puts opponents in when he's going against them on disses. He puts them in a 4-finger lock. That's what happened. Your ass got put in a 4-finger lock because I dropped that napalm of 2011 NBA Finals. You know, once I dropped that, there is no justification, because that's when the chosen one became the frozen one. And you know you can't get out of that rabbit hole. Anyways, let's move on to the next topic. Next topic at hand is this, man. Let's talk about it. The Los Angeles Lakers, Anthony Davis, man. What's up with Anthony Davis getting the blame by Charles Barkley and all these LBJ Riders media when he's doing 90% of the heavyweight lifting? I want your take, Jalik, the leader, first, and then Richy, you're going to get on the back end. What's your take with LBJ Riders media dumping on Anthony Davis and putting the blame on Anthony Davis when, in actuality, Anthony Davis leads in 90% of the statistical categories for the Los Angeles Lakers?
Yeah, the media is kind of weird, man, because to be honest with you, I think the older guys might be, I would think that they would go at LeBron more than they went at Anthony Davis, because to be honest with you, the media doesn't seem to have a problem too much with Anthony Davis. Now, Anthony Davis in the Lakers uniform, he's looked at as the puzzle a la Kevin Durant of solving the puzzle of the Warriors winning a championship. That's how people perceive Anthony Davis. So it's only natural for him to have higher criticism to come on there. So I already explained to y'all on back, I would never sign him to a 5-year deal. I will only give him a 2-year deal. And it's something about him. His body is breaking down right between our eyes. It's like he would benefit from a 50-game season. Now, I still think they're going to win it, but like I said earlier, they would go around 6 games. So this is just talk right now. In my opinion, I think the media be kind of hard on the GOAT. You know what I'm saying? They be hard because when you the GOAT, when you at the top of the class, like if you work at a place in sales, if you the number 1 sales rep, you're gonna get criticized more than a person who's like 4th or 5th. So the GOAT get criticized more than Anthony Davis. So I think it's good for him. If he don't know how to handle resistance, then he don't deserve to win. Any resistance, whether it's physical resistance, is designed for you to build up your muscles and your character. If you go to the gym and you lifting weights, if there's no weight on there, your muscles isn't going to develop. So if Anthony Davis want to be an all-time great, he has to deal with it. I don't know what he knows his sports is saying. Are you saying that he shouldn't get criticized like a baby? Are you trying to protect him? Like, I don't get it, bro.
I'm not protecting him. What I'm saying is Anthony Davis had a game winner in game 2.
Yeah, but
they focused on the fact that Anthony Davis, the Los Angeles Lakers had 23 turnovers. LeBron James had 6 of them in the 4th quarter. They didn't talk about that, but they talked about Anthony Davis and his turnovers. But they forgot that the reason why the Los Angeles Lakers won the game was because Anthony Davis hit the game winner. Why, when LeBron James makes mistakes on the basketball court, no one brings it out? But when Anthony Davis makes mistakes, with him leading the team in 90% of the statistical categories, this is stuff that can be quantified, calculated, and verified. Why is he getting the blame? Why is LeBron James the leader, if he is the leader of the team, not getting the blame? Like when they lost in game 3, LeBron James had 12 turnovers in that game. Nobody talked about that. They talked about Anthony Davis not being aggressive enough. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, because it's like he always get hurt. It's just it's part of his personality, and part of it is needed. If he want to get to the next level, he needs to be criticized. LeBron already been there. The GOAT is already the GOAT. It don't matter if he win or not. So they done. He's been in the league for almost 20 years. They're not going to criticize. I mean, what else are they going to say? I mean, he's already been criticized. Anthony Davis is on a big stage now. He's not in New Orleans. He's not around no babies. Nobody's babying him up, and he just doing stats. So he needs to be criticized. In fact, they should criticize him more, because if you can't handle resistance, you're not going to develop. So that's how I don't baby nobody up. I don't even baby my dog up. So I think it's good for him if you want to win. So, but I wouldn't sign him, and that's my opinion on it.
Okay, Richy Rich, what's your opinion on it?
Well, I mean, it's nothing new. As a teammate of LeBron's, man, they always criticize guys that have played with LeBron. You know, when I remember when LeBron was with the Heat, and the Heat were having trouble against Indiana in that series where it was able to push it to 7 games, they were dissing Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh. And he was saying, I remember LeBron saying, he said that he feels like he's back in his Cleveland days. Basically dissing those dudes, saying that he's doing all the grunt work, and those dudes are just trying to get by, and try to live off how he's feeding them between plays. So that was just the ultimate. And I remember D Wade standing up for himself, and he says, "No way, this is not like Cleveland days. He's LeBron James, I'm D Wade, and that's Chris Bosh. Dwayne Wade had to set those fools straight. That no way, no sir, y'all ain't gonna diss me like that." Kyrie Irving, Kevin Love, those guys got the same disrespect, the same criticism. Like when they don't feel that those guys are putting up their own weight, they're gonna come at them. Anthony Davis, he had 2 rebounds in that last game, and Charles Barkley was very critical of that, because he always feels his effort as a Laker, when it came to rebounds, he was doing his part. He was getting rebounds. He always feels that big men that play for the Lakers should always be putting up big numbers. So Shaq is very critical of all type of bigs that go to the Los Angeles Lakers and play for that organization. He felt ashamed of Anthony Davis in Game 3 because he only had 2 rebounds. He felt that Anthony Davis should have had more rebounds, and that probably would have gave the Lakers a better chance to win that game. But the Nuggets, man, they really wanted to win that Game 3 because they felt that they had a shot at winning Game 2. They let Anthony Davis get free, and he made that jumper. He made that game winner. That's just how it is with LeBron James teammates, man. They always are going to criticize that guy. That guy has always been able to, unless LeBron James has a blunder of a performance where he has like 9 turnovers, 10 turnovers, and he doesn't shoot the ball specifically well, he chokes. If LeBron James puts up his normal numbers or close to it, they're not gonna critique his game, man. They're always gonna look to see what his teammates did, the role players. That's basically who they dissed Anthony Davis, and they was looking at Kyle Kuzma. They was looking at what those role players did. Rajon Rondo didn't step up. Dwight Howard was getting into issues with Jokic that he shouldn't have. JaVale McGee, he didn't provide defense. He didn't get rebounds. But LeBron James, we look at his performance. He had 6 turnovers. He didn't really. The first half, he looked like he was lethargic out there. It's only the second half he came out and he played with some energy. They were trying to get back into the game, but it was too late because they already let the Nuggets get up to a 20-point margin. And you know how it is when you're trying to come back from a margin like that. Sometimes things are not going to go your way. Even it don't matter what type of effort you put. It's just some games where if you're playing down from a huge margin like that, you know, you already put yourself in a hole and you're not going to get back. And that's what the Lakers were able to do. And Anthony Davis, you got to realize, man, you knew signing with LeBron James that this is what comes with that territory. If you don't step up, if you're not consistently putting your numbers in that people expect you to put, like the 27, 28, 13 rebounds, 15 rebounds, a couple block shots, they're going to come for you, man. The media is going to come for you, and they're going to critique this man like no other. So it just comes with the territory of being a teammate of LeBron's, man. You got to expect that criticism, that blame.
All right, this is the bottom line with it. I know Jalik is still. Make sure y'all hit that thumbs up, man. Those that come into the panel, those that come into the chat, man. Make sure y'all donate to the platform. Super chat, Cash App, we accept it, whatever, man. Because we bringing that heat and that fire today, man. We keeping the foot on the what? On the necks. We keeping the foot on the what? On the necks. Now listen, man. Jalik the leader's lost. I get it, man. That burial that I put on you when I put that 4-finger lock, and that's just me warming up. you ain't get the full gamut. Because the full gamut is to make you feel like somebody dropped the anvil on your damn head. That didn't even happen. So just be happy that you got a little good patty cake. That's the way I call it. A patty cake 4-finger lock. Anyways, bottom line is this. You missed the boat because I get it. You feeling some type of way because I done eaten and murked you. So I get it. But Anthony Davis is a guy that leads in 90% of the statistical categories for the Los Angeles Lakers. Nobody's impervious to blame. That's the only thing that you said that made sense. But what you don't understand is if Anthony Davis is getting blamed and he's leading the team in 90% of statistical categories, then LeBron James needs to get double or triple that blame. LeBron James needs to get a piling and a dumping of that blame. Because LeBron James has done a lot of inept stuff in this series that showcases that LeBron James is not where he used to be. Yeah, I don't know if you've been watching these games because I've been watching the highlights. I already said I'm not watching the games. I'm catching the highlight. So I love this game. I've been sticking to the script. What I've been seeing in the highlights is LeBron James has lost 7 steps. He gets tired after the third quarter. LeBron is no longer the player that you guys think that he is. He hasn't been that player. If by my estimation, LeBron has started losing steps maybe 5 years ago. By my estimation, maybe 5. But every year after he started losing steps, it went from like 1 step to 2 step to 3 step. Now it's an abysmal 7 steps. LeBron can't crab dribble. LeBron can't create baskets. LeBron can't create shots. LeBron can't do nothing on the basketball court like he used to back in the day, man. He's lost a lot. And really, he's using Anthony Davis as a workhorse. Anthony Davis is probably the worst when it comes to what I would say. How should I say this? He's the worst when it comes to making excuses for LeBron James. At least Mario Chalmers, at least Dwayne Wade, at least Chris Bosh, at least Kevin Love, at least these guys used to get in LeBron James's face when LeBron would just go overboard. Anthony Davis, even when the blame is not on him, he's sitting here saying, well, you tell me, LeBron, what you think I could do. Clearly, Anthony Davis is a follower. He's not a leader. That's already established. Anthony Davis is not impervious to blame. There's some things that he needs to work on. But he is not the main issue here. The main issue is LeBron Ramon James because he's the leader of the team. In basketball, we have a hierarchy thing here. The leader gets the most brunt of the blame, if not all the blame, and then everybody else gets whatever blame they get based on whatever respective role that they're on. Anthony Davis is the second cog of the team, so his blame should be second cog material. Why is he getting main cog blame when he's not the main cog? That makes absolutely no sense. That's because LeBron James, whether you want to admit it or not, because you're showcasing yourself as a ultimate LeBron tar when you keep saying LeBron is the GOAT, which is inflammatory talk. It's inflammatory remarks, and it has nothing to do with saying the truth of basketball. It's just your opinionation of what you think LeBron James is. He's the GOAT, all right? but he's the greatest of all trolls. I think that's the terminology you're using. Not the greatest of all time, the greatest of all trolls. That's what I've known him to be the GOAT for. The greatest of all damn trolls. And that's what he is at his truest and his most properest levels. The audacity for this guy to say, I was the greatest player of basketball when I beat that 73-19. Are you kidding me? Are you freaking kidding me? That you were the GOAT when you beat them? Get out of here with that. Oh, Draymond Green was suspended. Andrew Bogut wasn't there. Kyrie Irving was the finals MVP, carried you on his back for 2 41-point games, 1 35-point game, but you was the GOAT? Higgity fucking hush. Listen, LeBron James should be getting the main call blame here. He should be getting the brunt of the blame. And if he's not getting that, there's a problem here. Houston, we have a problem. So when Charles Barkley says Anthony Davis is not being aggressive enough, what is not being aggressive enough? Doesn't Charles Barkley understand the numbers that Anthony Davis is putting up in the series? Usually your aggression is matched by your production. Do you guys know that? In the game of basketball, when you want to know a player's ability, right, to be aggressive, it's because of their production. This year, Anthony Davis is averaging 26.1 points per game. What is not aggressive about that? He has a 27.4% PER. What is not aggressive about that? He's shooting 85% from the free throw, something LeBron would never understand. What is not aggressive about that? He's shooting 50% from the field goal, 53% if you want to do advanced field goal percentage. What is not aggressive about that? And as a big man, he's giving you big man rebounding numbers, 10 rebounds a game. What is not aggressive about that? This is what I don't understand when Charles Barkley says he's not aggressive. Aggressive is showcased through your numbers. Aggressive is showcased through your production. And Anthony Davis's production showcases everything that has to deal with aggression. So what am I missing here? What am I not getting here? And when people say, oh, I would call myself the GOAT, see, RCW, you don't know basketball. Because the hierarchy of basketball is you don't call yourself the GOAT. That is a title that gets bestowed upon you from the powers that be, from the peers that played the game of basketball, and those that are on the pantheon of greatness. Clearly, RCW, you need to get your basketball brain checked too. Because that's how greatest of all time is bestowed upon you. The fans are supposed to tell you that. The peers that played with you prior to you are supposed to say that. This is what they said to Michael Jordan. He's the greatest of all time. That's how greatest of all time is unction unto thee. Not you saying it out of your own mouth, especially when it's fallacy, especially when it's heresy. It doesn't quantify, doesn't calculate, doesn't stick. So I will call myself the GOAT if I was 3 for 9, abysmal 33.3% NBA Finals average. Kobe never called himself the GOAT. Don't give me that inflammatory remark. Kobe Bryant said that I should be in the talks with the greatest of all time. See, when you start mentioning players that I follow, you know I'm going to counter any bullshit that comes anyway. Never mention the word that he was the GOAT. He said I should be in the talks because he respects the game. Kobe's a student of the game of basketball. Only LeBron James, out of his inflammatory mouth, even Isaiah Thomas was like, nah, as much as I was justifying LeBron, I can't justify him no more. Because this guy out of his own mouth had the audacity. He had the inflammatory remark to say that he was the greatest of all time. That's something that's given to you. Even Isaiah talked about that. Your peers are supposed to give you that. That's not something that you bestow on yourself. And when someone does that, that's because they're insecure. Let me say it again. They are insecure that they don't have a position of GOAT material, so they have to give themselves a position of GOAT material. That's the bottom line with that. Now, as it pertains to the next topic at hand. But before I get to the next topic at hand, Jalik the leader said he knows sport. Didn't Floyd say he was TB? Boxing is a completely different sport than basketball. Basketball is a team-oriented sport. Boxing is an individual sport. So someone saying that they're the greatest of all time because Muhammad Ali called himself the greatest of all time in boxing. So if you're going to mention Floyd, make sure you throw Muhammad Ali in the equation as well too. Boxing is something different. It's an individualized sport. So in an individualized sport, you have to feel that you're the greatest. You have to feel that you're the best because it's an individual sport. That's a whole different dichotomy. You're talking about something different. That's apples and oranges. We're talking about a team-related sport where there were other moving parts that were responsible for your success. So that's why it's imperative that other moving parts have to tell you what your level is. You get it? You see, it has to match.
Not
That's the stick. That's how it is in basketball.
But you always talk about finals percentage. Which one is it? You can't have it both ways, bro.
That's what I say. You're talking apples and oranges. You're talking another sport. This is what you do, man. You do this well. You use outliers that have nothing to do with what we're talking about here. Basketball is a team-oriented sport, so it has to be team-oriented in the way that titles are bestowed upon you. That's the way the sport works. You have to understand. You have to understand the discipline of the sport that you're talking about and speak along the lines of that. You don't even get it. You don't even get the discipline of basketball. So what you're telling me is apples and oranges. You have to speak oranges and oranges. You have to speak apples and apples. You can't tell me an individualized sport and mention one person that said they're TBE when in actuality in that other sport, so many other people said that they were great in the sport. They called themselves the GOAT. And then trickle that and give that comparison to basketball. That makes no sense. That makes no sense because it's an individual sport versus a team-oriented sport. So talk about the team aspect.
You base everything on 6-0, 100%. So it's kind of odd then that you say you switch it over and just say, oh, it's not an individual sport like boxing. It's kind of odd because if it was just based on everybody winning chips, then I mean we can know that Russell is there, but Russell did lose one final, so I guess you're not gonna give it to Russell because of that one, and then you can have another excuse on that. But I respect you, bro. Thanks for having.
I don't have an excuse. If Bill Russell, if people say that Bill Russell is their greatest basketball player of all time, I have no problem fundamentally with that. If people say that Magic Johnson, because these are realistic people that you could put up against Michael Jordan. LeBron, you can't because LeBron has a 33.3% NBA Finals average. You got to let that one sit. You got to let that marinate. You have to let that sink. That finals average in of alone takes him out of any GOAT discussion. But if you want to tell me Bill Russell, you want to tell me Magic Johnson, you want to tell me Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, now you're speaking language that I can entertain because these are other people that other peers in basketball have said that they are GOAT. Not what I said. See, it's not about what I say, what you say. It's about what the universal this is what we call the utilitarian rule, right? The utilitarian principle, the utilitarian theory, which is the greatest sum of personnel speaking to one thing. And the greatest sum of personnel speaking to one thing have said this: Michael Jordan's the GOAT, Bill Russell's the GOAT, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's the GOAT, Magic Johnson's the GOAT. Now you're giving me material that makes sense because now you're speaking to a populace that have said this. So if you tell me Bill Russell, I'm not going to dispute that because there are people that have actually said that. But LeBron James is not a populist language that he's the GOAT. That's LeBron Tards saying that. See, there's a fundamental difference with that. LeBron Tards versus the universal basketball. When you look at Steven Jacksons of the world, these types of people, I love LeBron, but every time you hear the GOAT, they cringe. They're not LeBron Tards. They're realists. They're NBA peers. They tell you LeBron's not GOAT. See, when you're dealing with real people, real peers, they will always tell you LeBron is not the GOAT. It's LeBron Tards that do this. But when you think of Michael Jordan, when you think of Bill Russell, when you think of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, when you think of Magic Johnson, universal populists say that they are the GOAT. So therefore, it is justified. Kobe Bryant too. Universal populace has said that Kobe Bryant is the GOAT. I've heard the populace of NBA fan base have said this. Kobe Bryant is the GOAT. Not Kobe Bryant fans. People that actually watch basketball have said this. So that's a different conversation. Kobe Bryant could be in that discussion, but LeBron James cannot because LeBron James is just LeBron fanatics that are saying this. See, that's the difference. Now, Richy Rich, what's your take on that before we jump on the next topic?
What's my take on what, knows?
What we were just talking about. Don't tell me you were lost by what we were talking about. We didn't say a whole lot.
Kind of break it down.
We were talking about what Jalik the leader brought up as a counter, and her basically saying that, well, if you're talking boxing and you're saying that boxing athletes that is an individualized sport call themselves TDE or GOAT, I said that's fundamentally different because you're talking about an individualized sport that you don't have to worry about teammates. It's you yourself. So if you feel you're the greatest, it's you yourself. There's no dependency on anybody else. He's using that comparison to a team-oriented basketball, a team-oriented game that requires team-oriented participation and calling you GOAT. So what's your take on that?
Well, my take, yeah, Jalik, it doesn't make sense what he's saying, because I remember Jordan making a comment about Tiger Woods and how his sport is is like the pressurized situation in his sport is on a higher level because it's him by himself trying to get things done. Whereas when Jordan was playing his sport, he had to rely on teammates. He had to rely on his guys to make plays for him. Jordan couldn't do everything. You need other guys to step up and fulfill their roles. Whereas a sport like boxing, it's only you out there. A sport like golf, it's only you out there. Tennis, it's only you out there. It's all on you. So I kind of agree with you. Like, if you say you're the GOAT in that sport, as long as you have the resume to back it up, you have the credentials in your sport to back it up. You've won certain amount of championships to reach that criteria. You've you've done a whole lot of grand slams. That's what it is in tennis. Or you won the PGA tours like Tiger or Jack Nicklaus to be able to boast and say you're the greatest. You deserve that, right? Because you in that sport solely, doing that with the pressurized situation of only being able to rely on your skill set, not relying on others. It's different from a team sport and a team aspect. So it doesn't make sense what Jalik is saying, But the thing where where team aspect kind of resembles, where you can kind of put it at with the singularity sport is the main player on a team, the so-called superstar. He has to be the one to rise. Like, his team have to believe in him. The teammates have to believe in him. They have to have a confidence in their player, in their leader, that they're going to be able to get it done. If they don't sense that attitude, you got to remember, attitude reflect leadership. So if they're not getting the right attitude from their so-called superstar, then everything is going to falter. So this is why the main guy always gets the blame, because they look at, if a team fails, if a team is expected to have these expectations, they're whether it's title or bust, they always put it on the head honcho, the main guy, the superstar, because he's supposed to instill that kind of confidence, that attitude into his teammates. And if they don't get it done, maybe the superstar, the leader, wasn't instilling that right attitude. He wasn't instilling those right, intangibles into his guys. So it's different when we put a team sport and a singular sport together. But you kind of see where they kind of overlap each other when the superstar has to be that main drive, that pretty much that main battery that latches on to all those other little batteries, and he's able to get those other batteries working because they're able to, like, feed off his confidence, feed off his belief that they can get the job done. It's a lot that goes into it. But those two different kind of like sports, there's a difference between them. But it kind of connects a little, because the main guy has to show that he can have those guys have a mindset of winning. If he can't, then it's kind of gonna be blamed at, like, guys on a singular sport.
You there?
You heard me?
Yeah, you just stopped for a second.
Yeah, I'm done. That's how I broke it down.
Okay. All right. Here's the thing, man. And I'm glad Richy Rich said that. But the bottom line is, Jalik likes to use completely different conversation that has nothing to do with the context. He throws a context question at you, and then he goes into a non-contextual argument to basically validate whatever he's saying. If you're not able to pick up fast on that, I can see how some people could easily get, manipulated by that. But you're dealing with somebody that operates in Sun Tzu, aka Art of War. It's a 7 steps ahead of the game mentality here. So I'm always 7 steps ahead of the game in the competition. So when you throw something at me, just know that I'm going to be 7 steps ahead of what you already saying. So just always keep that in the back of your mind, Jalik. When you try to do these outliers, I'm always going to tell you it's not contextual. Just keep that in the back of your mind. But on to what we're talking about here. LeBron James is not the greatest of all time. He's not a GOAT. And if he is a GOAT, there is one definition of GOAT. It's called greatest of all trolls. The reason why I use the terminology greatest of all trolls, and I want people to understand where that came from, where that birthed out of, is because when you say that you're the greatest of all time and you don't have no validity to prove that, that is trollism. That's trolling. That's pushing something to get people to talk. Because LeBron understands the 27th law of power. If I say that I'm the greatest of all time, LeBron tards like Jalik, yeah, man, LeBron is the GOAT. See, LeBron understands. He got a fan base. All I got to do is say something. My fan base going to run with it. Those that I have in the media that I've paid off, they're going to run with it. LBJ apologists and LBJ stands, they're going to run with it. And in the overall umbrella of the LBJ brigade, they're going to run with it. So LeBron actually knew what he was doing when he said that. That was a pre-calculated move. It was a 27th law of power move. When I keep using the 27th law of power, for those that don't understand the 48 laws of power, the 27th law of power is developing a cult-like following. LeBron was smart enough to understand that you need to develop a cult-like following. That was the only thing he was smart at, because he understood that there's just a lot of people that are sheep out here in these basketball streets. They need to be led, and they don't know the game, and they're casual fans like a Jalik. So all LeBron has to do is drop casual outliers to benefit the casuality of their fanship, and then boom, you have a matrimony. This is what the 27th law of power does. Drop only so much wording, but make sure it's impactful enough so that somebody like Jalik can run with. So when LeBron says he's the GOAT, you know why LBJ fans, if you notice, the only people that call LeBron James GOAT are LeBron tards, or those who get converted in LeBron tardism. That's right. LeBron tardism is a religion, y'all. It's a basketball religion. And a lot of people are getting this embedded theology about LeBron James. I mean, you have grown men 50 plus years old that's telling you that LeBron James is a god, and they're revering him in the same breath of Jesus Christ of Nazareth, which is damn near appalling. It's egregious. It's damn near disrespectful on so many levels, but this is what we've come to. So now we have to say it. LeBron tardism is a religion, and the cult leader has cultivated the minds of the Jaliks of the world. And Jalik can't see this because the brain full of mushing and the brainwashing has happened at such a high degree that by the time he realizes it, LeBron will already be done in the league and out with it. And then he'll realize, damn, I got done up, man. This is why you see the inflammatory remarks that come from LeBron. That's clear brainwashing right there. When you guys see LeBron Tars talk the way that they're talking, it's because they don't know any better. They're mentally in a prison, y'all. They are in a mental psychosis. If you guys watch Naruto, this is going to be a great reference. Richy Rich going to love this reference. Those that are Naruto fans know what I'm talking about. Jalik, the leader, is in a Tsukuyomi. All of these LeBron Tars are put in a fucking Tsukuyomi. If you guys don't know what a Tsukuyomi is, research what the fuck I'm talking about. It's a Uchiha Jutsu. I'm going to say it again. It's a Uchiha Jutsu. Sasuke, Itachi, Uchiha, man, they would Tsukuyomi your ass the fuck up. That's what they would do. They will put you in that damn Tsukuyomi like nobody's business. That's what Jalik is in, a fucking Tsukuyomi, but it's a LeBron Tsukuyomi. All of these LeBron Tars are in a fucking Tsukuyomi because they're in a what we call a virtual reality world. See, I said once I said that terminology, I see it's like cemetery solace mode came out with Rich. I guess I had to say something to get you going, man. I don't know. Maybe I had to say it, but that's what it is. They are in a fucking trance. That's what a Sukuyumi is. It's just simple language to say that they are in a non-realistic world. This is what LBJ Riders Media does, and that's why they get all credit in the world, because they've taken a guy who has, listen to this, y'all. This is what's boggling my mind. A 33.3% NBA Finals average. This guy's an abysmal 3 for 9. And they found a way to Sukuyumi your brain. They found a way to basically turn all of your neuron receptors into doo-doo, into dungness. That's what they did. Basically, they don't have the ability for the neuron receptors to go. None of that's going on in the brain. You know what the brain's doing? Is going. It's like a basketball dribbling. That's what they say. And then in between the LeBron, LeBron, LeBron. I'm telling you, if you examine the brain of a LeBron chart, that thing goes LeBron, LeBron. That's what it does. I'm serious. Y'all think I'm joking? This is what Jalik's brain looks like. This is what LeBron Tar's brain looked like. LeBron. LeBron. That's what they did. Why do you think I say brain full of mush and brainwashed dodo heads? They've Sukuyumi them, man. They've put them in this visual jutsu. Have you guys ever heard in the good book, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaketh? So basically, if you take somebody's heart and you corrupt that thing, man, and you make it la corruptible, it's going to start spewing LeBron Tardism. So what you guys are seeing is a mental psychosis or mental diagnostic of what we would say LeBron Tardism. That's what's coming out of Jalik's mouth. This is what comes out of LeBron Tard's mouth because they can't speak logic. And if you notice, if you say anything against LeBron, you're speaking against their LeBron Tardism. And they have to defend it. Let me tell you why they defend LeBron. It's not because they love LeBron like that. It's because LeBron represents their participation award era mindset. Their mindset is just to arrive to the party. They don't want to do heavyweight lifting. They don't want to do the work. They just want to show up. That's why they love LeBron so much. You guys have to understand the psychology of LeBron Tards. These are lazy motherfuckers. Yes, I said it. If you're a LeBron fan, you're a lazy motherfucker. There's nothing about you that speaks that you're not lazy. Because real people that do heavyweight lifting, real people out here that do work, real people out here that put it in will never be a LeBron fan. Because they can't rationale their brain behind someone that's always had something spoon-fed to him. He was spoon-fed a $90 million deal from Nike before dribbling an NBA basketball. That's what Love Participation Award era is all about. That's what Participation Award era is all about. They love that. They love that mindset that they could just be a part of something. They don't have to worry about putting in the work. This is why they hate the greatness personification of a Kevin Durant. They hate the greatness personification of a Kobe Bryant. They hate the greatness personification of a Michael Jeffrey Jordan because these guys put in the work. That's why Jordan, a few years after he was removed and retired from basketball, when he was on Oprah Winfrey, I remember that show like it's the back of my head. He was repulsed by LeBron James. This was all on LeBron. How are guys getting shoe contracts and they haven't even done anything to deserve the shoe contract? Back in my day, you had to at least put in 4 or 5 good years of you showcasing yourself as dominant. Michael Jordan didn't get a shoe contract until 88. When did he enter the fucking league? 84. Jordan had to prove his worth before that shoe contract came. He had to show that he was unquestionably that dude. LeBron, on the other hand, we're going to give him $90 million because of St. Mary's. But what LeBron doesn't understand and what LeBron Tars don't understand, it's because of Jordan's success. It's because of Jordan's global icon. If you are a LeBron Tar, you are covertly a Michael Jordan fan. But you can't say it because you're so caught up in the Sukuyumi of your LeBron Tardism, you don't even realize it. But you are a low-key Michael Jordan fan because LeBron's success does not become what it is if a Michael Jordan didn't exist. Michael Jordan is the standard bearer. He's the first black basketball player that walked around and had trails and trails of people following him. This is unheard of in basketball. This shit didn't happen to Magic Johnson. This shit didn't happen to Larry Bird. And see, here's the thing about it. Magic Johnson already had a 10-plus year illustrious career. Larry Bird already was 9+ years in. Jordan was only 6 by the time the Dream Team rolled around. And guess who they were going around after? Jordan didn't even have 5 NBA titles. Jordan just had 1. Damn near, no, Jordan had 2. Sitting on getting ready to go in 3-peat. But Jordan was the dude that they validated behind. But you see what happened? Jordan's validation came because he won. And you know how that validation came? He beat RCW. Say, I see you have anime knowledge. I have everything, man. RCW, you got to understand. You watch my videos, I always say it. I'm not a regular cat, nor do I think regular, nor do I reside in regular realms. Let me say it again. I'm not a regular cat, nor do I think regular, nor do I reside in regular realms. So I know a little bit of everything. Basically, the way that you need to fashion your brain when you think of me, RCW, is I'm very, very, very good at a lot of things, and I'm great at some things. That's how you could fashion He Knows the Sport. Very, 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 very good at a lot of things, great at some things. Once you put all that together, that's the He Knows the Sport package. Now, on back to what I was talking about. What I was talking about was simple as this. They don't realize that they are covertly Michael Jordan fans. Because when you say that LeBron is great, it's because of the success of Michael Jordan. LeBron James copied Michael Jordan's powder toss. LeBron James copied Michael Jordan's number 23. LeBron James copied everything that Michael Jordan did going into the game of basketball. LeBron wanted the acclaim to fame, stature, and popularity that Michael Jordan had. And if you listen to LeBron James, that's why I say when I listen to LeBron tards, they're not being honest with themselves. If you are a LeBron tard, you are a Michael Jordan fan. Salute to you, Joseph Bailey. That's just the bottom line with it. Because LeBron out of his own mouth said that Michael Jordan is his idol. So how can you go against Michael Jordan if you are a LeBron tard? And let me tell you why. Because LeBron knows that your brain has been Sukuyumi. So now he can drop any filter that he wants. Throughout the years, because Michael Jordan did not give LeBron James the acknowledgement that he gave Kobe Bryant, because Michael Jordan said that Kobe Bryant deserved the work, he merited the work, that he did the heavyweight lifting that proved and denoted why he should be the guy that deserves the comparison with me. It made LeBron James feel some type of way. When Jordan said, well, 5 beats 1, I got to go with Kobe Bryant. It made LeBron James feel some type of way. LeBron has always felt some type of way about the fact that his daddy, that's how you look at Jordan. Jordan's that daddy. You know, LeBron James has had daddy issues. And we understand that. And you want to study LeBron James's history, there's the daddy issue component. So Jordan is like his basketball daddy. The basketball daddy didn't give him the acknowledgement, so he's crying. He's booing all over the place, right? So because of the lack of acknowledgement that he didn't get from Michael Jordan, now what do bad children do when they don't get the attention from their dad? They always want to showcase the attention by doing rambunctious stuff. They become brats. You see what I'm saying? So LeBron James became a brat to then speak against Michael Jordan. And then when Michael Jordan gave him that, you remember when he was with the Miami Heat, Richy Rich? LeBron was like, oh man, MJ, man, he gave me a handshake, dog. I feel good. And then he stopped criticizing MJ for a little bit. And then he was hoping after that handshake, MJ was going to say, well, LeBron. But then MJ was like, Kobe. And then LeBron said, but Jordan's not political. You see, that's a LeBrat. Because he wants that attention, but he can't get the attention. So because he can't get the attention, he's feeling some type of way. This is what LeBron tards don't understand. Their issue with Michael Jordan and the greatness of Michael Jordan and the GOATship of Michael Jordan, it has nothing to do with basketball. It has everything to do with the filters that LeBron James put in your Sukuyumi brains. See, I'm breaking some shit down. If you're a LeBron tard, get the notepads out and get to the damn scribbler, because I'm even teaching you about your mental psychosis and how it's ravishing your brains. And here's the thing with LeBron. LeBron has put filters in that LeBron tardism. I love this game. I know she loving this one, boy. You're like, boy, this boy breaking that shit down. Damn right. The bottom line is this. LeBron put a filter in there for somebody like Jalik that calls LeBron the GOAT, that when LeBron leaves the league, Tom Ross, LeBron is going to remove that blinding factor because now there's no need for it anymore. Basically, what LeBron James did in his LeBron Tard Raise Richy Rich, he put a filter in LeBron Tard's brain so that by the time he leaves the league, they will be off of his spell. It's like a spell that he put on them. They don't realize it's happening. You would realize, this is what you guys are going to realize. LeBron Tard's, you guys watch Marvel's Avenger, right? And you watch with Thanos, man, he fucked the Avengers up, dog. And then he snapped that finger. What happened in Endgame? Yeah, all of these people that resurrected so many years later, you remember that? And they don't know what the fuck happened to them. That's what LeBron Tards are, y'all. I'm telling y'all going to be like, man, he knows this sport. He got me laughing. He's giving banter. He knows this sport is breaking that heat and that fart. But here's the truth, y'all. The bottom line is this. LeBron Tards are going to feel like those people. They're going to feel like they missed so many years because they didn't realize they were under a spell, Richy Rich. But then when LeBron leaves, then they're going to come back to their normal basketball brain. You see what LeBron did to them? He basically fucked their brains up for almost 2 decades, which is bad. Because you guys have to understand, if you study the brain's pattern, 1 decade of the brain going through a traumatic experience, it's as if you've gone through 100 years of that shit. So you can only imagine 20 years. That's 200 years. That means for the rest of these people's lives, like a Jalik the leader, and that's why you have 50-year-olds calling LeBron the GOAT. That's why you have 50-year-olds calling LeBron James the God. LeBron realized via the 27th law of power. I'm teaching now, Jalik. Hopefully you getting the notepads out. You learning some shit. Because I'm teaching you some shit right now. For 200 years of the rest of it, but see, you won't live for 200 years. LeBron has fucked your brain up for 200 years. So now when you look at basketball, here's the caveat, y'all. When I say they're going to return back to a normal sense, they're going to return back to a normal sense of this, that they don't root for LeBron James. But every basketball player abnormally that they're going to judge from that point on, they're going to judge their basketball players' GOATness by the strength of LeBron James. Do you see how LeBron has fucked these people up? Because now any player that comes after LeBron, the comparison is going to be, does this person compare to LeBron James? LeBron James is not even the fucking standard. Damn. If I got to give LeBron James credit on one thing, was I got to give him the ability to filter this lie in these people's brains, and the fact that these people were gullible enough to allow this lie to manufacture to their brains to where they can have a 200-year side effect. Gosh, man. Woo! LeBron done fucked y'all up, man. If somebody gave me a 200-year side effect, like a Jalik or any LeBron Tard that says LeBron is the GOAT, I'll be feeling some type of way about that. And the fact that He Knows His Sport was able to break that shit down, I'll feel some type of way. That's why I love this game is laughing. I wish I could see I love this game's face one of these days. I hope you could come on the panel so we can laugh this shit off, man. Because the bottom line is you have to laugh at this shit. Because here's how the LeBron Tardism has manufactured itself down the generation, Richy Rich. It's manufactured itself through Luka Doncic. Because Luka Doncic is, his idol is LeBron, but he's white. So now they're really going to treat him like he's the Eminem of basketball. That's what they're going to do. See, I'm preparing you guys' mind. Because when Luka said, hey, man, my favorite player is LeBron James, Luka did that because Luka knows your brain is already altered, LeBron Tards. So if I say that, y'all going to be, hey, that's white chocolate right there, dog. Hey, Luka Doncic, man, that's a LeBron student right there, dog. We rooting for Luka Doncic, dog. Luka Doncic. That's why when I missed Luka Doncic and I said he's a swooped up James Harden, then you see LeBron, man, get the fuck out of here, man. Hey, man, Luka Doncic, dog. Don't be talking. It's because the LeBron Tardism has fucked them up. They don't even realize that Kevin Durant and Kawhi Leonard has ran circles on LeBron James for a number of years now. If they were thinking in their basketball brain, in their real basketball mind, they would know this. But since they are not, they can never get this. So, to be honest with you, Jalik, to be honest with you, LeBron Tards, I actually feel sorry for you guys. Because if I had to go the next 200 years of my life, which in actuality I won't exist for 200 years, I don't think none of us will exist for 200 years, that I've been altered in my brain pattern to be a LeBron fan, man, I'll be feeling some type of way about that. And the fact that LeBron was able to filter that through the media, LeBron was able to filter that through his LeBron apologies, through his stands, man, I'm going to feel some type of way. Every time you guys listen to ESPN, First Take, every time you guys listen to Fox 1 Sports Undisputed, and you hear LeBron topic, and you don't turn off the TV, that's another brain full of mushing that they add in on top of the fact that your brain is fucked up. Because they got to keep reminding your ass that LeBron James is that dude. And because you already in a trance, they have to keep you in that trance. Trance can be broken now. It's been proven, Richy Rich, because anyone that's watched Naruto knows a Tsukuyomi can be broken. But you have to be powerful enough. You have to have a jutsu that's powerful enough to get you out of that transfer world. You have to be a Naruto level. But see, here's the problem with LeBron Tards. They ain't Naruto level. You know what levels they are? They damn the levels of Naruto's first sensei. That's the levels they have. So they basically what I'm trying to say is they have no fucking chance to get out of the trance that they're in. None. This is what they've done to you, Jalik. And since I've broken this thing down so scientifically for you, it's going to make you a person who feels that you're always thinking outside of the box, a person that always feels that you're thinking, beyond the realms of stuff. It's going to make you feel stupid. Because in doing all of this stuff, you now have to deal with a part of your brain that has to deal with a psychosis that's going to last for 200 years. You won't even be around 200 years. Gosh, that's sad. And the sad part about it is folks like Joseph Bailey, folks like Tom Ross, folks like Tyrone Spencer, folks like I Love This Game. They're looking at you, LeBron Tards, and they laughing at you guys because they're saying, damn, at least I didn't miss the boat. At least I didn't miss that part of my brain that told me that this guy right here was fucked. And the bottom line is, I'm now a Iruka sensei. Damn, man. That's fucked up, dog. That is fucked up, man. That's what I'm talking about. You LeBron Tards have become Iruka senseis. You know what that means? That means that you only good enough to be a teacher in school. You can't go out there and fight the battles. That's what LeBron has done to you guys. He's messed you up. This is why you hear Jalik say LeBron is the GOAT, LeBron is the GOAT, LeBron is the GOAT, because he don't know better. As a matter of fact, there's two sides of Jalik's brain that's fighting with one another. There's that side of him that's saying, how the fuck did I rationalize that LeBron was the GOAT, Richy Rich? And then there's that other side that's so fucking, you got to say it because the brain full of mushing and the brainwashing has happened and the Tsukuyomi has come into a place. So you got to say it. So he's battling with his mind. Battling with his fucking mind. And the thing that he's battling his mind is, I don't want to say LeBron is the GOAT, but I have to say that LeBron is the GOAT because I can't help it. And you know why? LeBron filtered that shit in your damn brain to say that. I know that to be true because I have a big brother that he has to deal with that 200 year of nonsense too. Because he fashioned his brain to say that LeBron James is the GOAT. Y'all fucked up, man. You LeBron Tards are fucked. Like, I can't even explain the level of fucking that has happened to you guys, man. It's like you've been mentally rearranged. And here's the thing with LeBron Tards, and this is what they don't understand. You see, because when I'm preaching and teaching like this, dog, I have to keep on going. The thing that's messed up with them, and Richy Rich, here's the issue, is they don't even see it. They don't listen to me and you that's telling them they have an issue when they talk LeBron. Have you ever talked to a LeBron Tard and they always speak to you out of emotion? Because we have to understand what emotion does to people. Emotion is the thing that rattles people's brains. There is a left side of your brain and there's a right side of your brain. Now, those of you that don't understand how the brain works, the left side of your brain is the side that's supposed to be the spatial side. It's supposed to be the reasoning side of the brain. The right side of the brain is the imaginative side of the brain. That's the brain that just, it kind of could go any fucking where. What they've done is they've basically fucked with your right side. And they just basically said, well, your left side has to kind of do what your right side wants to do too, because your brain is all connected in one whole mush inside that damn skull. So if we mess with that right side enough, your left side is going to feel like your right side. That's why you have people like Jalik saying LeBron is GOAT. They don't even realize it. The left side of your brain is fried. You don't even realize that's what happened to you. Because anyone that talks basketball knows that when it's all said and done, LeBron James is not no damn GOAT. You see, I love this game. Say, Lo, I have to disagree on that one. Jalik sounds like he's secure on LeBron being the GOAT. That's it. You know why? Because I love this game. It has everything to do with what I'm talking about here. It's not even him. I'm telling y'all, man, LeBron done use the media to warp people like this. Because they don't even, before LeBron James showed up in the NBA, you think, if you would have Jalik 17 years ago, do you think he would have, that's my question to you, I love this game. If he was 17 years ago, you think Jalik the leader would have been a LeBron tard? No, because there was no LeBron there for him to be a LeBron tard. All of this came about because LeBron showed up. And LeBron said, look, the media is the most powerful means of tools. The media has diluted a lot of people's subconscious in so many ways. You know what I'm talking about, Richy Rich. We talked about it, right? There's that commercial. The great part of waking up is Folgers in your cup. How the fuck do I still remember that so many years ago? That's because I watched a fucking commercial that diluted my subconscious mind. And I can't get it out of my head. You see? It was the media that did that. Because I watched the TV and the media of the TV told me that the great part of waking up is Folgers in my cup. Why do I remember that? You see what I'm saying? Now take that and amplify that. I love this game times infinity. And then every time you talk, say LeBron. LeBron had a great play. LeBron had a chase down block. LeBron James, he shut down this defender. You've seen these things they keep saying, Richy Rich. LeBron James is the best, most triple-double player. When you keep saying that over and over and over and over and over and over again, you know what that is? If you don't know what this is, Jalik, I want you to research it. It's called the art of reciprocation. That's what it is. And if I keep saying something, I keep reciprocating it over and 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 over again, guess what's going to end up happening? You're going to believe it. That's what happened to you, Jalik. You believed it because it kept coming to you over and over and over again. You kept showing plays, highlights. LeBron James chase that block on Tayshaun Prince. LeBron James chase down block, dunk on Jason Terry. LeBron James, he's the greatest. And every time they've done those plays, they would always use key words. I love this game. They would say, LeBron James is the greatest blocker ever. LeBron James is the greatest dunker ever. They would always use that. So if you hear that over and over, you're going to start saying LeBron James is the greatest blocker. You're going to start saying LeBron James is the greatest dunker. You're going to start saying LeBron James is the greatest chase down blocker. You see how that all trickles? And they've done this for 17 years. So this is how the manufacturing of a Jalik has shown up. Because they've heard this shit over and over and over and over and over and over again. And because they've heard it over and over and over again, they can't help but to accept it. And if your brain is not strong enough to counter it or to question it or to say, you know what? I don't know, man. That doesn't sound right to me. If you don't have that brain to do that, you're not going to question it. So because you're not going to question it, you're going to believe it. And I leave with that. Richy Rich, what do you have to say on that? And then we can get on the back end.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you, man. Like they've been hitting our subconscious for these past for LeBron, for majority of LeBron James' career, basically telling us how great he's been, how he's the next best thing of sliced bread. And a lot of people, man, they like to live in the moment. They like to live. They're prisoners of the moment in this era, and especially this era. They see LeBron as the head honcho guy, and they think he's the best player in the game, because he plays a certain way. Maybe a lot of people didn't like the way Kobe played or Jordan played. They didn't like that true alpha mentality that was played on the court in those days. They always wanted this type of game where LeBron shies away from free throws down the clutch. He always shies away from taking the big time shots. He always tries to make the so-called right play, pass it to a teammate that who pretty much hasn't touched the ball for majority of the game, and LeBron passes it to him and expects him to hit a big shot. Well, LeBron has been the guy to have the rock 90% of the time. It just doesn't make any sense. I don't get it. LeBron does that because he doesn't want to be the guy to get the blame if the shot doesn't go in. But what he doesn't realize is we're going to blame him because we expect the best player to take the big shots at the end. That's how basketball has always been, and that's how it's always going to be. If you're the best player, you have to be the guy to take make the defining shot, or you have to make the defining play. LeBron James, he always tries to shy away from the defining shot, and we've seen in moments in his finals performances, he wasn't a part of a defining play, like Chris Bosh's rebound pass to Ray Allen, or J.R. Smith passing it to Kyrie Irving. He didn't pass it to LeBron James. He gave that ball to Kyrie Irving to hit that shot over Stephen Curry to bring that finals victory home. Because he knew LeBron probably wasn't gonna deliver on that shot. He saw Kyrie, and you getting that ball, you getting that rock, you gonna deliver us out of this. Because he knew that's what Kyrie's about. Kyrie lives for those moments. What more can I say about LeBron, man? It's been a 17 years of reprogramming, man. Mental reprogramming on us, man. This is why this generation, I don't understand, man. This is why they're so messed up.
Rich, not us, them. When you say them, talk Jalik. That's what you talk.
Yeah, Jalik, and others like Jalik. That's the media has done a great job ever since his St. Mary high school days up until now, man. It's just been constant heavy masses of LeBron James throwing on us. Like we've seen Michael Jeffrey Jordan. We've seen how they covered Michael Jordan. They covered Kobe. But it's been nothing like this, man. LeBron James, the way they cover it, if LeBron James is taking a dump, they're talking about it. If this man is saying Taco Tuesday, like it's Taco Tuesday, they covering nonsense like that. Taco Tuesday. I'm like, what? Why are they covering this nonsense on TV? What's the point of this garbage? This guy, man, they eat, breathe, sleep LeBron James. And you gotta understand, man, some kids, when they see stuff like that, they're gonna eat this stuff up. You know what I'm saying? The younger generation is gonna eat this stuff. This guy must be the best. They covering this dude 24/7, nonstop. They talking about him being here, him doing this, him being involved in this. He must be the best. He must be the greatest. They're not covering these other stars in this league like LeBron James. LeBron must be the best. He must be the greatest. And they don't understand the damaging things that they're doing by doing stuff like that, by not keeping it the way it's been in the past, where only the guy that's delivering the goods is the guy that's supposed to mainly be covered. LeBron James has not always delivered the goods, and when he delivered the goods, he had to put himself in advantageous situations, man. Meaning that he had to put himself in situations that he knew a championship was going to be guaranteed. He had to go to Miami Heat,
And when the wheels fell off the Miami Heat, he had to go to the Golden State Warriors because he saw the potential in Kyrie Irving, and he colluded with Kevin Love. He told Kevin Love, "Hey man, find a way to get yourself out of Minnesota so we can run that trade over to the Cavs. We're gonna trade that first round pick. We're gonna trade Andrew Wiggins for you." That man was heavily colluding with Kevin Love over that offseason. And he got that man to do that. Same thing he did with Anthony Davis. Once he went to the Lakers organization, that man was talking with Anthony Davis, and he was colluding. He was telling Anthony Davis, "Okay, you're gonna come over, you're gonna sign with my agency, and you're gonna find a way to pair up with me. Get over here, say you don't want to play for that team no more, and come on over here and come play with me. Come run this tandem. Come run this team up with me, man." This is what LeBron James is all about, man. And he knows he has people in the media that control what is being said, man. Basically, I don't know who mentioned it. I think it was the brother. I'm trying to remember who said it, but it was when Richard Jefferson made those comments. He said that he didn't want to make a comment because he didn't want to get fired or something, or suspended or reprimanded. And LeBron James told him that, "Man, come on, bro, you're not gonna get in trouble, man. They pretty much talk about me all the time. I run ESPN, man. You don't got to worry about anything, man." He knows, man. He has sycophants on that network that are always going to talk about him in a good light, man. You know what I'm saying? You don't see many of the talking heads like what's that brother's name? That's on I keep forgetting his name. He's on Fox. He's on Fox Sports. He's the one that always goes at LeBron. You rarely see him. Now, it's the he made those comments about RG3. He called RG3 a cornball brother.
Oh, Rob Parker.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Rob Parker.
Rob Parker. There you go. You don't see it. You don't see enough of the Rob Parkers in the world, man. It's like LeBron really does control the media, man. He has these talking heads, these guys just uttering nonsense, man, and these people just eat it all up. If you constantly hearing that stuff every day, you eventually, if your mind is weak enough, it's eventually gonna suck it all in, man, like a sponge, and you're gonna start believing in it, man. And this is what a lot of these LeBron fans have got stuck into. They got stuck into that loop, man, to where they've actually believing what these talking heads are saying about LeBron James.
You there, Richy Rich? It's like your broadcast went out. Yeah, we can hear you now. Go ahead.
Okay. They're looking at stuff like his his plus or minus on the court. People are always looking at that plus and minus now. If you're a net negative or a net positive on the floor, that shows if you're like are doing something on the floor or doing nothing. LeBron always has these high positive, net positive scores when he's on the floor, or he always has these high per scores. But when you look at it, Jordan, man, didn't really care about that stuff. Jordan has one of the highest pers ever, man. That's the crazy thing. Jordan didn't care about. Jordan always lived with the results. Miss or make. He didn't care about stats. Jordan cared about taking the highest percentage shot because that's who he was. He wanted, if you take the highest percentage shot, you give yourself a best chance at winning. That's how he looked at it. He didn't look at it as someone that's trying to big up his stats or trying to make his stats look good or any nonsense like that. He did it to give himself a higher chance to win. That's why he always took the mid-range shot or the fadeaway shot that he pretty much perfected. But it's poison, man, what this media has done, man, to a lot of these LeBron James fans. They basically poisoned their minds for 17 years, telling us that this guy is a king, but he's a false king. He's great, but how can you be great when you've lost double the amount of times you won? and you had to take a shortcut. You told your fans that you wasn't good enough to get it done in Cleveland, and you had to go to Miami to team up with Wade and Bosh to win those rings. You know what I'm saying? And then when you felt Wade and Bosh wasn't good enough, you left those cats high and dry to go run it with Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love until Cleveland got talent. How come you didn't go back? How come you didn't go back there before they got Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love? And then you know how they try to paint it? They paint it to where, LeBron is just showing us how that he got power in the league. He's showing that he could just do anything he wants. You know, like he's taking control of his destiny. Well, that's not how it's done in this basketball hierarchy, man. In this basketball hierarchy, man, you win with what you got. You show that you could win with the parts. Yeah, no one's saying you don't need help. Every player needs help, but you don't quit. You don't quit. That you don't show that. You don't show that you gonna quit and you just gonna leave it and run it with a even better squad and expect to have these people praise you and adore you. But I guess it's different with LeBron James, man. He can get away with that, and others can't. Case in point, Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant tries to do that chess move. They get pissed off because, like you said, they didn't put that Kevin Durant. That boy was is an anomaly. He was a highly touted player coming out of Texas, but he wasn't everybody's favorite, man. When he was drafted into the NBA, he was drafted number 2. They chose Greg Oden before this man. Portland actually chose Greg Oden over Kevin Durant. That is one of the biggest blunders in NBA draft history. But LeBron James, man, this man was highly touted, highly sought after. Kevin Durant wasn't highly sought after. But when this man wants to make a move and he wants to show that he can control his own destiny, they don't take a liking to it. I wonder why. It's that investment, man. It's that investment. LeBron has backing, KD don't, and it's a shame, man, that goes down in the league, man. But LeBron, the NBA is gonna be better, man, when this dude is retired, because now we can focus on other guys. We can see what these other guys are about. Right now, the league just gravitates too much around this guy. But what has he done? How has he won on a dominant level to garner this type of respect, to garner this type of attention? No, he hasn't. I understand if he was dominant, if he won 6, 7 championships, I'd be like, you know what, man, they kind of focus on him, but you know what, he's dominating. So you can't do anything about that. The man is dominant, you know. We just gotta wait till he's gone, you know. But I don't got a problem with anybody that gets that kind of attention that's dominating. Him, LeBron's not dominating. Cats have won championships on this man. This man Cats have gotten Finals MVPs. Andrew Iguodala got a Finals MVP on this man. Kawhi Leonard got a Finals MVP on this man. KD got 2 Finals MVPs on this man. When did someone want a Finals MVP on Michael Jordan, dog? Come on now. Let's stop the comparisons, people. Please, let's stop this stuff. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. It's absurd. It's how can I say it, man? I can't even come up with the word. That's how much nonsensical this comparison is. I'm tired of this comparison, man. Let's put this stuff to bed, please.
All right, Jalik. Let's see because we see the LeBron chart is activated. That side of your brain is activated. So go ahead, man. Let's see that side of your brain activated.
I just got back in and I heard some stuff that y'all was saying. So I had to feed her and she had to use the bathroom. So what was the full stuff you was talking about?
Basically talking about how LeBron is not what LeBron is supposed to be.
I respect you. I listen. If I know how it sounded like you guys was in Akron are in Cleveland and you went up to ask him for an autograph and he checked y'all, and then that's what happens. That's what happens. He didn't
Side of
sign
the brain.
you know what?
You
I never want that man's memorabilia, dog. I'm
He
cool.
was in Dade County, right at
LeBron James memorabilia is worth shit, man. It's worth my ass, dog. It's worth
I'm
shit.
straight.
That's why.
Why would I need that memorabilia? A memorabilia of a loser? Get out of here.
But you got all this disdain from, I get it. You was at Airlines Arena. You probably was up there, you know what I'm saying? You was talking, you probably had some different multicultural friends, you know, everybody from different places. You might speak Spanish. You're a very smart guy. You were speaking in another language, speaking Haitian, and you asked for his autograph, and that's where it comes from. That's okay though, bro. But it is what it is though, man. That's just the law of the land. When you're on top, you get more criticism. But and I respect that y'all think Michael Jordan, he wouldn't be mine, you know. I like Michael Jordan. I can tell you good things about Michael Jordan. And see the difference between y'all can't give no compliments to LeBron. See, that's a different level of disdain, but it's all good. Y'all, I give y'all 3 weeks, bro. Maybe
I already gave the compliment to LeBron. I said there's only one great thing LeBron James has done, and it has nothing to do with basketball. The panel remembered it yesterday. Unfortunately, you wasn't here yesterday because you was taking care of getting your dog situated. But I said LeBron James he brought up 3 friends, got them schooled up, got them educated, and made them run an empire with him. That's something admirable. That's the only thing that I could say that's great with LeBron. Other than that, everything else from a basketball standpoint and everything else, there's nothing else I could say. There's nothing else I could say that could speak to that. That right there is something admirable, and it's something that people just don't fucking do, especially in a dog-eat-dog world that we're in today. People don't do shit like that. So that's something you got to give him credit for. The fact that he actually said, okay, these are my boys. Because usually when people from high school and all that, they leave them high and fucking dry. They don't deal with them, you know, in college or whatever. People separate. Things happen. The fact that he did that, I got to give him credit for that because it's something that's unique. But that's it. And that has nothing to do with basketball. But if you want to ask me about basketball and what he brings to the table in terms of his attributes from a basketball standpoint, there's nothing that I could speak to that level because he doesn't have anything. Everything that he has is basically is subpar. And like I Love This Game said, he's the second greatest loser in NBA pantheon of greatness finals history. That's facts. The greatest loser is Jerry West. So when you tell me about LeBron, you tell me his legacy. If you came out your mouth and you told me that LeBron James was the second greatest loser, yeah, man, now we talking. Boy, we could talk about LeBron losing all day, every day. We could talk about his losing ways all day, every day. But to say he's GOAT, it's a cringe type of thing. It's a cringing thing.
I mean, I respect that. I mean, hey, I still one day you're gonna talk about Kevin Durant's intangibles and leadership because you done a good job of moving the goalposts and switching it to LeBron. When I wanted to know, everything was based on Jimmy Butler's leadership and himself checking himself. You're a psychology guy. You read books. You can't break that down because it doesn't fit your Kevin Durant narrative. That's what we was waiting for. But
see, this is the thing that people have to understand, and I have to explain this, Jalik, so you can understand this. I don't reside in narratives, man. I reside in cold-hearted, unadulterated, and cutthroat truth-telling fashion. This is what makes me unique in the YouTube realm. I don't go off of opinions. I only go off of facts. If it can't be quantified, calculated, and verified, I don't want nothing to do with it. Everything that has to be associated with He Knows the Sport has to have a truth behind it. There has to be a truth. There has to be no lies associated with it when they're talking about sports. Because what I say can be verified. When you said intangibles with Kevin Durant, I already mentioned the leadership component. What is the greatest form of leadership? You winning in basketball. That's translation of leadership. You want to know the greatest leaders? The greatest leaders are typically the greatest winners. Bill Russell is a leader extraordinaire. Michael Jordan is a leader extraordinaire. Magic Johnson is a leader extraordinaire. Larry Bird is a leader extraordinaire. They're the greatest winners. Kobe Bryant, a leader extraordinaire. Greatest winners, Tim Duncan, leader extraordinaire. But when you're talking about leadership and you say LeBron James, LeBron has failed as a leader. LeBron is a 33.3% leader. That's what LeBron is, a leader that has a 33.3% success rate. When you think of Kobe Bryant's leadership, it's a 71.4% success rate. You see the difference? That's a 39.4% golfing in leadership ability. Because when you think of leadership, how did this person take their troop and how did they lead them to the dance? How did they push them? How did they push the goalposts? So when you talk about leadership qualities, Kevin Durant has a 67th percentile leadership quality because he's gone to the dance. I don't count that shit with the Golden State Warriors because he didn't play in the damn series. So I don't count shit that he didn't play. I just don't count it. When we talk about NBA finals that Kevin Durant's been in, the 3 that he's been in, he's won 2 of them. That's a 67th percentile leadership advantage because those 2, and you want to know how you could tell somebody's the leader? The person who garners the most heavyweight lifting for the team in that particular scenario. Kevin Durant was the guy that did the most heavyweight lifting for the Golden State Warriors in those years that he was with the Golden State Warriors. So he was the leader, unquestionably. And as a leader with the Golden State Warriors, Kevin Durant has a 2 for 2, 100 percentile success rate as a leader. Because the 2 times that he led them, it went to the NBA Finals and he won. And you see what happened when he wasn't there to lead them and he got hurt? They lost. LeBron can't speak to that because LeBron don't understand what that language is all about. So when you talk about leadership, you have to talk about it at the highest levels, the most pressurized moments, because leaders handle travail. They handle pressure the best. This is what separates them from people that are not leaders. Leaders take it on. Leaders have that solitary mindset. Leaders have that mindset to, you know what, come hell or high water, I'm going to figure this shit out. It's just going to get figured out. And LeBron James proven 9 times in his leadership that he is a 33.3% averager. The only time that 33.3% is good at any sport is in baseball. Because you know why it's a good percentage in baseball? Because someone's throwing a fucking baseball at you at 100 miles per hour. Just the fact that you could hit it at a 33.3% clip is impressive. But any other sport averaging 33.3%, that is below even 50%. That's matter of fact 16.7% below that. Every time I keep throwing this number to you, she keeps sticking in your brain that, damn, this is a horrible leader. Because he's only won 33.3% of the times. But you know why you can't get that? Because of the brain full of mushing and the brainwashing dodo-headisms that's associated with you and your LeBron Tard fanship. That's why you can't get it. I done told you, they fucked your right brain up. They put that chip in there. They put that little chip in there, and that's what you're talking to me right now. When you sat there and said LeBron James autograph, I don't even know LeBron James. I don't care to know LeBron James. I'm speaking to LeBron James and him as a basketball player. And what I'm seeing is shit don't add up with this guy. And until you come to that conclusion, that reality, that shit don't add up with LeBron, you will never do that because you're a LeBron tard. So you can't help yourself. But that's just what it is. Bottom line is LeBron James is not that guy. And when you guys leave, our generation leave and the next generation shows up, they're going to laugh at people like you, Jalik, because they're going to say, damn, y'all said this guy was the GOAT, but he only won 33% of the time. That's not GOAT material right there. They're going to laugh at you guys. They're going to, wait, hold up. This guy is 6 for 6, 100%. Because that's what people look at. They look at numbers. That's what Jay-Z said. That's why Jay-Z made that term so famous. Men lie, women lie, numbers don't. The numbers are going to say, well, this guy was 100% NBA Finals. That's absolution. This guy was 71.4%. This guy was 33.3%, and y'all say he was a GOAT? What the fuck was wrong with that generation? They're going to be looking at people like you and saying, what the fuck was wrong with you? That's what you're not getting.
So this
is not an indictment on LeBron James. It's actually an indictment on you for not knowing better.
Because with your logic, Joe Montana is automatically better than Tom Brady because he has a 100% winning percentage compared to Tom Brady. So that, according to your logic, but that's okay. See, one thing about me,
your logic is off because again, you're using an outlier that has nothing to do with basketball. You're talking about a different sport here. focus on basketball, man. Can you just, hopefully you follow me enough to teach you how to stick on the context of stuff. You're talking about something that has nothing to do with basketball. You're changing the conversation when you do that. That's what you're doing. You don't know how to just stick to the conversation. You're changing it, dog. Changing the conversation don't help.
Him, Oster. You hear him? He talking double talk, man.
I'm not talking double talk. You're actually talking double talk. I'm trying to get you to talk singular talk. Because when you bring up something that has nothing to do with the context, I don't know if other people have figured your ass out, but I figured you out, man. I figured you out on day one. And maybe it works on lower level people whose brain capacity don't function. But this is me. You got to understand, whatever you're thinking, I'm already 7 steps ahead of your brain pattern and what you're thinking. I'm telling you that right now, 7 steps ahead. And I'm telling you, in the 7 steps ahead, matter of fact, I'm not even using the full 7 steps. With you, I just got to be 1 step ahead. And in the 1 step ahead that I'm in, you're using logic that has nothing to do with the actual logic of what we're talking about. And what we're talking about here is Kevin Durant and LeBron James. If you would have stuck it to that, it would have been fine. But you know why Richy can't stick it to that? Because LeBron has lost so many times that he can't find. See, Kevin Durant, I could go into his vernacular. I could go into his encyclopedia and find information about him that can ether and murk you in a conversation, in a debate. But you can't do that with LeBron, because if you have to do that, now you have to talk about how many times LeBron James has lost. And that is the conversational piece that LeBron Tars don't want to deal with. You see why LeBron Tars can't talk LeBron, Richy Rich? Because if they mention LeBron, they have to mention the fact that LeBron lost so much. And that's not something they want to open up. That's not the can of worms. So they'll do anything to talk against that. They'll do anything to talk outside of that. And Jalik the leader, I see you've been schooled well in the LeBron Tardisms of the Sukuyumi school. You've been schooled very well. I could see that. Because part of LeBron Tard is never talking about LeBron's losing ways. Because as soon as you do that, you disqualify yourself. That's very smart what you're doing. As a matter of fact, that's advanced level LeBron Tardism. But the reason why it doesn't work on somebody like me is because once you reside in truth, it's already superior to LeBron Tardism. So all you got to do is throw the truth right back at your LeBron Tard ways, and that's it. That's it. That's the way you expose it. And that's what I'm doing. I'm exposing it. You can't talk about LeBron because LeBron don't have that many memorable moments. And the memorable moments that he has, it's because he's lost more than he's won. Dirk Nowitzki owns LeBron James 1-0. Tim Duncan is 2-1 against LeBron. See, you don't want to talk about these things. They're going to hurt your feelings if I start talking about these things. You know how many people own LeBron? If I have to do this, it's going to be repulsive. Kevin Durant is 2-1 against LeBron. Too many people own LeBron out here in these basketball streets for you to even think LeBron is a GOAT. You see where I'm going with this? Because if I have to open it up, it's going to make you feel some type of way. That's why you don't want to touch the NBA Finals, because that's a touchy thing for LeBron Tars. Because this man has lost too many times against head-to-head opponents, and he's been embarrassed too much. Stephen Curry owns LeBron James in NBA Finals. Stephen Curry of all people. Kevin Durant owns LeBron James. If I have to open up the can of worms of how many people own LeBron, it's going to make you feel some type of way, dog. That's why you can't say this dude is the GOAT. Because who's on Kobe Bryant? Kobe Bryant's 2. Kobe Bryant is tied up with the Boston Celtics 1-1. They didn't own his ass. Can't nobody say they own Kobe like that. Can't nobody say they own Jordan like that. But LeBron, man, I could count on my fucking fingers how many people own his ass. That's bad business. So you can't quantify that as GOAT material. As a matter of fact, it's disrespectful to the game of basketball to even say that. When Dirk Nowitzki, who is nowhere near the GOAT list, owns LeBron James 1-0. Tim Duncan, part of the upper echelon of the pantheon of greatness, owns LeBron James 2-1. Stephen Curry, who will never be nowhere near the GOAT list, owns LeBron James in NBA Finals. Kevin Durant, who is going to be on that list at some point, owns LeBron James 2-1. You see where I'm going with this? See, I have history on my back here. It's sad, but this is the reality. That's just the reality of it, though. You got to accept it. LeBron is a loser. And those that don't want to accept that, they either don't want to hear basketball or they just don't want to accept the fact that it is what it is. But that's the truth, man. Remember what the good book says, man. The truth hurts, but it will set you free. And the truth will always have its day. And guess what the truth is having its day in? That LeBron James is a loser extraordinaire. He's a 33.3% NBA Finals averager and performer. You can't get around that because that's what we have to judge basketball at its highest levels. And at its highest levels, LeBron has proven that he is a loser. You need to accept that. When you accept LeBron James's legacy, you accept that he's a loser. That's what his legacy is defined by. When LeBron does a biography of himself, he better title loser next to his name. They both got an L in it. If he don't do that, he's lying. If I'm LeBron James, I'm going to say that I'm the greatest. Yet LeBron is the greatest at something, all right. He's the greatest at losing. And losing in so many different epic proportions. He's not the greatest finals loser, but he's the greatest loser in losing in epic proportions. Even Jerry West didn't have those epic meltdowns that LeBron had. Because truth be told, Jerry West is 1 for 9 in NBA Finals average, but Jerry West balled out in every one of those fucking NBA Finals. Truth be told, he balled the fuck out. LeBron James has had epic failures. That's the fundamental difference. This is why LeBron is the greatest loser. So when you talk LeBron, you need to tell me that LeBron is the greatest loser. Now, when you start speaking that language, now you own to something. But to sit here and say that he's the GOAT, when in actuality he's the opposite of that, the greatest loser, that does not quantify. It does not calculate, and it does not stick. It doesn't merit anything, and you're not being honest. But you can't help yourself because you've been Sukuyumi for 17 plus years. And the thing about it is you don't even realize it. You don't even realize what LeBron did to you. That's the worst part about it. You don't realize what just happened to you. You don't get it. You will never get it until it's already too late. By then, you'll be 6 feet under and people will be praising your death and all of that stuff. You just won't get it, bro. I mean, it is what it is. But that's just the facts. LeBron fans have been warped. And that's just the way it rolls. That's all I got to say with that. Now, let's close it out, man. Jalik, the leader, appreciate you, man, for doing your thing. Richy Rich, appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate y'all contributions. Richy Rich, we had the barbecue. Jalik, the leader. You know, today he got a little off the hinges. He got on his LeBron tar ways. We had to barbecue you. But next time around, we're gonna take the foot off the gas a little bit because we're gonna make sure that when we talk along the lines of the NBA playoffs. But resting lo and behold, you mentioned LeBron. We're gonna barbecue your ass again now. So just know that every time you bring up LeBron, we have to educate you on what the truth is about LeBron and why we have the position that we have. It's not about hate. It's not about LeBron did something to us. It's just telling the truth. It's something that you're not used to. We get it. It's abnormal to your brain, but we just have to tell that. So just understand where we're coming from. We're always coming from a place of truth. And when you speak the truth, you're speaking from a place of a position of strength. Okay? That's all I got to say with that. So we're going to end on that note. You be easy. You have a great one. Y'all take care, man. Y'all enjoy y'all Thirsty Thursdays. We'll be back next week to do the damn thing on the show, and we're going to tear it up, all right? So, Jalik, leader, appreciate you. Richy Rich, appreciate you. Everyone in the chat, appreciate you guys. Peace. All right, so let me